Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, the 15th of April, and that can only mean one thing. My name is Lawrence Hobbs.
My name is Theo Dehaney.
And this is Why Can't I Do Music Good? It's a show where we talk about music and making music and why we're rubbish at making music and what we're trying to do about it. And why, and we're going to add this to the end, why sometimes people who are supposed to be really good at making music actually are shit.
Lawrence, dude, calm down.
You can't tell me what to do. You're
It's
not my
all right,
mum.
guys. We're just he's having a hard time right now.
I'm not. I'm having the easiest time in the world, and this is why I feel I can get away with this shit.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like you don't. It's like people who are rich misbehave a lot more than people who are poor. Like,
people who are rich can afford to misbehave.
Exactly.
I don't have the money to misbehave.
What?
Where do you think I'm getting that from?
Like, some policeman's like, "Did you do this? Do I look like I have the money to misbehave?
Look at my bank account."
Yeah, I'll show you right now. Look at it. It's got a minus sign.
I haven't the funds for hijinks, sir.
I don't. Look, rich people are bad at maths because they don't know what a minus sign is. They've never seen one. What's this? What's this small man lying down in front of this number?
Oh, don't worry about it. It's
Well, being rich, you don't have to worry about it. If you're rich or a government, you do not have to worry about whether you have money or not. You just do stuff. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, we have no money. Well, when's that ever been?
Money is basically attention that you don't actually have to pay yourself.
Yes.
Make money do a thing over there while I'm doing a thing over here.
Like, our government is based around borrowing money. Like, if we couldn't borrow money, and it's weird.
The entire world is based around borrowing money.
Yeah.
If everybody had to pay back everybody that they owed, then the world would collapse.
Well, I don't know.
Would.
Well, it would and it wouldn't at the same time. It would take a very long time to do it because, like, English government has borrowed money from like European governments, and they've borrowed money from like Saudi Arabian governments, and Saudi Arabian governments have borrowed money from American governments, and American governments have borrowed money from. Well, I think that might be where the buck stops. To be fair, I don't think American government has lent money out to anybody.
Man.
The equivalent of
oh
yeah. What is it?
Oh, sorry, I keep clicking on the wrong button.
Uh-oh. Did you click on the wrong button just then?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the pop-up chat, but I keep clicking on mod view.
Oh, right, okay.
Instead. And it takes a while every time I do.
Sorry. So I would have the chat up, but after starting to record the streams as well as streaming them, I just don't have the computing power to also have a live chat up. So you're gonna have to be our eyes on the.
That's cool. I'm on it.
Eyes on the.
Should clear up in a minute.
Our man on the ground. Our man on the digital ground. Our digital man on the digital ground. And don't say that's a good name
on
for
the
an
ground
album.
pin.
Don't say that's a good name for an album. It's already basically an album title.
Oh, okay.
By Bright Eyes. Digital Ash, Digital In. Great album, by the way.
Digital clothes. Right, I'm good. Who's in the chat? Nobody.
Yay! We can say what
we
want.
Meatbag.
Meatbag.
Are you winning, sons?
Welcome back, Meatbag. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. How's things? So lockdown is pretty much over here in the UK. So this is a show that was born out of the lockdown situation in the UK. So I think it's prudent for us to just talk about for a second what that means for the show.
Make preparations.
Yeah, and I think that for the most part, it doesn't mean a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like we're I think we're gonna continue to do the show. It'll still be on Thursday. It'll still be midday. The only thing that's going to change is we'll have a less than zero number of people watching because everyone's going to be at work.
Yeah.
But I think that it might also just mean there are some days that we might just have to skip a show because knowing my schedule, Thursday being my day off will be the day that everyone decides to go sick.
Yeah. Sod's law.
Not only is it sod's law, it is inevitable. That is sod's law. Whatever. So if anybody was kind of worried about the show, do not be. I've got a very lawn from fucking Fargo haircut going on here. You seen the TV series of Fargo?
I haven't. No.
It's
You're
good.
talking about the new one, yeah?
Yeah, the one that started like 4 or 5 years ago. You should watch it, man. It's good.
Mm.
On Netflix. Netflix. Is that racist? I don't know.
I mean, that's probably how you pronounce Netflix as a Japanese speaker.
We don't know that it is, and that might be the
No, we don't. I mean, I'm swell, thanks, and yourselves. Yeah, we're all right, man. We're all right. We're doing good. Hobbs has been making tracks.
Yeah,
taking
baby.
Names.
Making tracks and taking names, like people
Drinking milk, kicking ass, running out of milk.
I am drinking milk and I'm kicking ass and I'm all out of ass. Yeah, I've been over the past couple of days. I've been making music for a kids' TV show that I'm involved in. It's I'm going to talk about it again. I know that you've heard this before, but for those of you who haven't, it's actually a pretty ambitious project. So the idea is that it's a kids' TV show that's very high fantasy, but at the same time is very extensive in its lore for the people that want to get into that. So if you think Adventure Time, in that it's
still
for
plenty
kids,
of milk.
Still plenty of milk. If you think Adventure Time in the sense that it's for kids but has a big underlying story, and then make that story as big as Game of Thrones' story, and then aim it for even younger kids.
Remove the incest.
Yeah, imply the incest rather than explicitly talk about it.
Sure. Incest cut filter. Is it incest cut or safe for children pass?
It's the Zack Snyder cut. Look, if you're watching this week, welcome to the last week that joke will be topical. Because have you seen that they want a J.J. Abrams cut of Rise of Skywalker?
Okay. Just like you're gonna be chasing that carrot forever, aren't you? Like, no, you're not gonna do anything that's gonna please all the Star Wars fans. And it's like, when after Game of Thrones finished, there was petition demanding the creators to reshoot the last series the way that they wanted it.
Yeah.
And it was like, don't be such brats, man. Do you have any idea how much time and money and effort it takes to make a series, and you don't like it, so you want them to start the whole thing the fuck over again? It's like, I'm sorry you don't like it. All I can do is take that forward to my next project, just like anybody else. It's like, that's such a spoilt fucking thing to do, to think that you have the right to make them rewrite the entire last series. It just doesn't. Not on.
I'm trying to think of an analogy for that, but I just can't. Like, I can understand that if you want to voice your opinion on whether you're unhappy about something, go ahead. That is your right as a human being. But you kind of, I don't think you necessarily lose that right, but you should expect that other people also have opinions, and because they are more powerful than you, they don't have to listen to you. Like, let's talk about money. The minimum wage, or the national living wage in the UK, is an absolute joke. We live in Bristol, which is the most expensive place to live outside of London. we have, you and I, Theo, I think we have jobs that pay all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say so.
they pay all right. In any other, like in a lot of parts of the UK, we'd be able to have a house by ourselves, on the amount of money that we have. The national living wage currently, though, in Bristol and some other areas of the UK, is not enough to even survive on a month.
It's the living wage.
It's the living wage, and so yeah, so we could kick up a stink about that. But at the end of the day, it's not up to us, and this is why a lot of people who say we live in a democracy, we don't. I'm sorry, guys, we don't live in a democracy. We haven't done for hundreds of years. We live in a republic, just the same as the US. The US is not a democracy; it's a republic. Now, there are good and bad things about democracy and republic, and I much prefer the fact that we live in a republic, because in a republic, it is more likely that the people who have the minority of the opinion do still get to have their voices heard. So, if, in a democracy, and you'll find that your workplace is probably a democracy, okay? Like, everyone's workplace is probably a democracy, because everyone can have their opinion, but as soon as one opinion wins out over the other opinion is ignored. It is not considered anymore. Whereas a republic, which is what happens in our government, the minority is at the very least still listened to. It's still valid for you to say your minority opinion. So getting political up in there. Is there still room for music and politics together on the same podcast?
I mean, with some of the stuff that we've been talking about, music, politics is in the world that we have inextricably linked with music, I think.
Yeah.
Because, people have a right to make music, and people have the right to be rewarded for the music that they make if other people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Just like anything. But having that happen requires politics, requires people to make the right noises in the right places, and whether that's in Parliament or not, that's politics. Is just advocating for something and talking at someone until you get what you want.
Speaking of politics and our workplaces, have you seen what people are campaigning for in the next workplace bill that they want to pass?
No, what's that?
They would like a part written into the bill, which is being called the right to switch off. And it's basically a thing that protects the rights of employees if they decide they don't want to deal with workplace shit outside of their workplace hours.
That sounds like heaven.
Yep. So if you
that sounds like heaven.
Yeah, if that was written,
it's not an option.
Yeah, if that was written into our rights as human beings, then nobody could have a go at you for never reading the group chat outside of 9 to 10, or on your day, or not on your days off. Like,
yeah. It would be nice. It would be nice to be able to go, right, I can mute my phone for the next 2 days. I can't.
No. Oh fuck! I forgot to talk to you about this. Are you a fan of dumb pranks that sometimes don't work?
It depends on the type of dumb. I like clever dumb pranks.
Okay.
I don't necessarily like dumb pranks.
Okay. This falls right in the middle between clever and dumb.
Okay, hit me.
Okay, and I find that a prank is most worthwhile when you put the least amount of effort into doing it. So if you put a lot of effort into doing something and it's successful, great, but the reaction must be amazing. If you put zero effort into it and it's successful, then awesome. That's the best prank in the world.
The point of diminishing returns is very low for a prank.
So what I have done is I have given you Theo, and anyone who's watching, the ability to pull a prank off for very little effort at all.
Okay.
So the other day I was at my girlfriend's work, and a colleague of my girlfriend wanted to try and remember a song, and she thought it was called Stand Up. So I was like, okay, I'll Google this. There's a fucking lot of songs called Stand Up. So I decided to make a playlist of every song that was called Stand Up. No parentheses, nothing else. Just the song is just called Stand Up. It's not called Stand Up for something. The songs are all just called Stand Up. And here's the prank. It's not even much of a prank. It's just a funny thing to do, to be fair. You, in a social scenario, decide to put on some music. You put on this playlist. And then you just wait for people to ask you what the song is. After...
I like it. It's harmless.
It's so good, isn't it? And
nobody gets hurt.
So if you look, guys, if you follow me on Spotify, there is a playlist right now called Stand Up, and you feel free to use
Fantastic.
it. Feel free to use it.
You know what? I've decided, like, next time, what I would really like to do. So Crazy in Love by Beyonce.
It samples one of my favourite songs from the 70s.
The Chi Lights.
The Chi Lights.
Yeah.
I am a
so
woman,
what I want to do next time I'm at a party, because last house party I was at, I love a house party, man. I super prefer a house party to actually going outside. You know, if I'll prefer the pub to a house party, but I'll prefer a house party to the club, like, any fucking day.
Okay, I can see that. Like,
I just it's more my zone, man. It's more my zone. It's less noise. I can, I don't look good. I can't dance, but I'm fucking funny. So,
and you're funnier when you've had a few beers as well. So
sorry,
you're funnier when you've had a few beers as well. So
good. Well, keep that in mind. Just be.
And you're also funnier to other people when they've had a few beers. So
alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. What was I fucking saying? Right. So next time I'm at a house party, because last one I was at, there was this. It was a Beyonce song. It's the one that kept going up in key at the end, just a solid 2 or 3 minutes of key changes.
It is Crazy in Love, yeah.
No. It's not that song.
Is it All the Single Ladies?
You're the one I love.
Oh, that one.
You're the one I need.
Yeah, that one.
And people are going fucking nuts for it. And the next time I want to...
are you going to make a version?
What?
Are you going to make a version that keeps going up in key?
Oh, well, I could do that.
That would be fucking hilarious. Could you please do that?
Tone, that'd be
great.
Well,
don't even just use the shepherd tone. Just have it so that, just keep transposing it up. If you take the original, it's 3 key changes, isn't it? If you take the original 3 key changes and then you just transpose them up by 1, and then just copy and paste them onto the end.
That's true. I'm going to have to do that now.
But yeah, do that again.
I just want to put on the Chi Lights. I just want to put on the Chi Lights at the next party I'm at, and have it come on, and people are like, "Oh, it's fucking Beyonce," and then it's like, "Where's Beyonce?"
If I was at that party,
when I listen to it, every time I hear that riff, I'm expecting to hear the even though I know it's not going to happen. So for people who don't know it's not going to happen, I just the
I reckon if you and I were at that house party and we were hype enough for that song, I think that within about one verse and one chorus of that song, we could get people to be more into that song at that house party than they would have been for the Beyonce song.
Maybe.
Also, if
we were hype enough, oh shit, it's the Chi Lights,
and if we were like that and we're singing along to it and knew all the words, because the hype, if you really like a song, it breaks the hype completely if you don't know the words to everything.
It's the Jones theory. It's like, I know this song well enough. I like this song to know all the words. Why don't you?
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's like the end of the world, as you know it by REM. Because you start being like, that's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds, snakes, and airplanes, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Of the hurricane, listen to yourself, churn something.
It's
Yeah, but it totally
the national anthem.
It breaks it so much when you don't know the words.
Glorious, victorious.
Now I don't know if it's just because I've grown up in a more conservative household.
You know it though.
I do know it. Send her victorious, happy and glorious. Long to reign over us, God save the Queen. Or King, depending on who's reigning.
Really? Do they change it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know they change it.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought that for the first time ever I was clever.
They have to hire Bono to write a new national anthem every time a monarch dies.
Have we talked about what I think the new national anthem should be?
Yeah. What was it you said? You said we are the champions.
No, we will rock you.
We will rock you.
I think that should be the English national anthem. And some dickhead that I asked before was like, it should be Jerusalem. I was like, okay, why don't we just call it Brazil? Why don't we just have Brazil be the fucking national anthem of the UK? Shall we? What about Munich?
Our national anthem
should we have Munich?
To Senegal.
Yes, exactly. Ghana Independence Day should be the UK's new national anthem.
The 6th of March, 1957.
Ghana Independence Day.
Long live the Queen. We got to add the long live the Queen at the end.
Or King.
Or King. What if one day our monarch is trans? Would we have to come up with a new term? The Queen.
I think if they were trans, they would get to choose whether they were referred to as king or queen.
They get to choose anything. They could reinvent the words.
Well, they wouldn't. I don't know if they'd be able to.
Princes are called Splorgenfloffs now.
They wouldn't be able to do that. It would have to be a word that already exists. It might have to be monarch.
Hmm.
Oh no, it would be God live our majesty. That's what it would be. Guarantee it'll be
Majesty.
God
save our majesty.
Wait, no, that wouldn't.
God save our majesty.
Yeah, maybe someone had to rewrite it then. Although I think that they would just. To be fair though, it's the royal family. I think that if they had issues with the color of a baby's skin, they're going to have issues with their gender identity.
It's the wrong color.
I'm annoyed that it was like Meg and I are very annoyed that it was Queen Anne that said it. Queen Anne? Fucking hell, getting ahead of myself there. Princess Anne. Because she's supposed to be the cool one. I don't know how cool you can get when it comes to monarchs. Because the one descriptor that I'd never heard a monarch be described as is cool.
He's a cool. I want to be.
Just walks into Windsor Castle, hits a jukebox. And plays the national
Elizabeth,
anthem.
the cool queen. She spells it KWEN. What up, bitches? It's your monarch.
Oh, do you think that Prince Philip would have had it?
Is the best.
Do you think that Prince Philip would have had in his phone her saved as just Queen?
Queen, the
Queen. Oh.
Queen, England. Which Queen?
Oh. That better not be that Latifah bitch again. Oh.
I'm a smacker bitch.
Okay, we've got a lot to get through today. Should we move on to some news?
Good start. I'm loving it.
Let's move on to some news. Okay, so The thing I really the thing that I really want to talk about is Tay-Tay and
Tay-Tay?
Tay-Tay and the Swifts.
Tay-Sweet?
T.S. Eliot. Taylor Swift Eliot. So she has re-released one of her first albums. So I know that a lot of people, some people that are watching that don't really follow her as an artist. By the way, I'm not one of the people that follow her as an artist. I do respect her as a songwriter because I think she's a good songwriter. But some people might be confused about why she's re-releasing one of her first albums. Do not worry. We haven't got a Frank Turner situation on our hands here. We can still like Tay-Tay.
You're still allowed, as Lawrence. Thanks, dude.
Allowed. You're fucking welcome.
God save our monarch.
This is Lawrence approved. I should get a stamp.
Yeah,
Just
a tattoo on your fist here.
Yes, it just says yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But the thing is, it would be yes and maybe because I don't have the power to say no. I'm not very good at saying no, so it would just be yes and maybe. So Tay-Tay's album, Fearless. Yes, this isn't a cash grab. Well, it is, but not in.
It's always a cash grab.
It's always a cash grab. But it's because someone tried to grab the cash first, essentially. So, do you know very much?
It's a cashback grab.
It's a club card grab. At your local Tesco.
My savings have matured. Fearless Taylor version.
Have you heard, do you know very much about Scooter Braun?
I know the name.
Okay. So
Scooter Braun sounds like he should be in Nashville.
Probably is, to be fair.
Avery winner.
Scooter Braun is a hold on, let me just double check.
Scooter Braun.
Let's just double check that I'm getting all my facts straight here because I don't want to do a Led Zeppelin and talk about stuff I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Finest spoons player this side of the Depression.
Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, so I was saying before the show that I randomly selected a song to try and dismantle the lyrics of, and it was a Led Zeppelin song. And it said stars are blind, but they travel in rays. They have a number of rays, and I was like, that's just factually incorrect. Like, if you're going to write a song, even if you can't use a metaphor, you can't just say something's a metaphor and then start saying stuff. Like, if it was a case of like me saying your eyes are like pools of oil, that's okay as a metaphor because everyone knows that eyes aren't like pools of oil because everyone's educated enough to know that, and everyone has eyes, so they know that eyes could not be pools of oil.
Oil in your eyes, you'd go blind. Maybe that's why the stars are blind. Maybe somebody put oil in the stars' eyes.
Maybe they did, but then
like the rays are just like Ray Charles because they're blind now.
That could work.
Lyrics explained.
Well done, Theo. Well done, Theo. But it can't be like. But like, it just because you say something and it rhymes, you can't just then say, "Oh, it's a metaphor." Like,
yeah, well,
give me some nonsense. Give me some nonsense, and I'm going to rhyme it and give you some incorrect information.
Oh, what you're gonna rhyme it?
Yeah, yeah. You give me some nonsense.
Give you some gibberish, or you want actual words in a nonsense order?
Actual words in a sentence that just doesn't really make sense.
If lemons misrepresent keyboards, then our fears are in the speakers. I've forgotten it already. If lemons misrepresent
keyboards, then our
fears are in the speakers.
Epstein absolutely committed suicide. His body's under the bleachers. Just because it's so don't get mad, bro. It's just a fucking metaphor.
Don't get mad, bro.
I'm really proud of that.
Just you imagine Led Zeppelin doing that in an
It's
interview.
also exactly. Okay, so
Robert Plant frantically bobbing his head left and right, described in Rolling Stone magazine. His arms are akimbo. Nobody would have seen that before.
okay, right. Back onto topic.
Oscillating wildly.
So the reason why Taylor Swift has released one of her first albums again is because yes, Taylor Swift and Scooter Braun, the piece of shit producer. I'm calling him piece of shit to his face because he's looking right at me right now, aren't you, Scooter? Named after a fucking mode of transport.
Scooter.
Yeah, you don't have anyone called fucking Bike, do you? That's my son, Toyota. Oh, they do have
train,
Ford.
Hobbs, you get down here right now.
You can have Ford though, I guess.
Huh?
It's my daughter, Penny Farthing. So following Ithaca Ventures' acquisition of Big Machine label group, Taylor Swift announced the deal on social media due to Braun's former role as Kanye West's manager during the release of the song "Famous," which controversially referenced Swift. Basically, so in October 2020, Braun sold Taylor's masters, videos, and album art to Shamrock Holdings for $300 million. Braun will reportedly continue to receive financial benefit from her music catalog.
Holy shit.
Swift said that she tried to buy her masters from Braun, and she ultimately declined to partner with Shamrock Holdings. Because Shamrock Holdings is just a shell company. It's just another company to get a tax break from. So it's still owned by Scooter Braun. So essentially, he fucked her over.
That's bad.
So what she did was she said, well, fuck you. You may have a lot more money than me, but I'm a bigger name than you. So I'm just going to re-record everything again because I still own the rights to the original music.
Yeah, you know what? Fair play. I'm going to listen to that album.
It's actually, it's actually a pretty good album.
You know what? I don't like Taylor Swift. I'm not interested in the album, but for that, I'll stick the album on. Maybe I will like it.
So I think there's two reasons you should listen to the album. One, because in the 13 years between when it was first released and now, sonically, it's so different. Like it's the same songs, but you can hear a difference, and even just from a production exercise, just to listen from one to the other, just listen to the drums. Different.
I just thought, because I was going into this of the understanding that you were saying, Taylor's re-released an album in the style that she wanted to make it in when she first became an artist.
No.
And I was listening to that and I was like, well, these aren't that far apart. Like if it was me, I would probably live with that and then just create an album of new songs in the style that I now want the songs in.
Yeah, sorry if I communicated that badly.
No. I'm glad that you waited. I'm glad that we got the organic reaction to that, because that is that's effed.
Well, yeah, and the second reason I think you should listen to it is because actually, 13 years ago I was 17. I'm 31 now.
14 years ago.
14 years ago, I was. How old was I 14 years ago? I'm 31 now.
17.
Yeah, cool. 17. So I was 17 when she released that album. And as a 17-year-old, I thought I knew everything about the fucking world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I would listen to these songs and be like, Taylor knows bullshit about anything she's talking about here. But as a 31-year-old, going back and listening to the subject matter of these songs, fuck me, was she switched on for a 15-year-old.
It's like, no, this song wasn't stupid. I was stupid.
Like, even...
too stupid to know I was stupid.
I mean, should we... I might do a little breakdown real quick of her most famous song from the album, which is Love Story, and it's probably the most idealized version. Or most idealized song because it's talking about a very childlike idea of love. So I've got the lyrics up here, and I can only apologize because I may well be tagging the stream right now. We were both young when I first saw you. I closed my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there on the balcony in the summer air, see the lights, see the party, the ball gowns, see you make your way through the crowd, say hello, little did I know. So it is a love story. It's just very simple. And then it talks about like being Romeo and Juliet, which is a very outdated way of looking at things,
especially since Romeo and Juliet isn't a love story.
Exactly, it's a lust story. But also, like, it's if you go to the end, it says so the last paragraph is Romeo saved me. I've been feeling so alone. I've been waiting for you, but you never come. Is this in my head? I don't know what to think. He knelt to the ground and pulled out a ring and said, "Marry me, Juliet. You'll never have to be alone. I love you, and that's all I really know. I talked to your dad. Go pick out a white dress. It's a love story, baby. Just say yes." Because we were both young. We were both young when I first saw you, and it's basically her saying, like right at the end, it's her saying, "This is an idealized way of looking at this because I'm a kid. Like I am young. I am 15 years old. I don't know what love is, but this is what it seems like to me."
That's pretty self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more self-aware than I was.
We are a self-aware.
More self-aware than I was into my 20s.
Mate, it's more self-aware than I was fucking 3 or 4 years ago. Like 3 or 4 years ago, I was still writing songs that I should have been over 4 years previous. Which is why I've realised how useful it is to, if you write a song about something that's happening to you right now, just release the song and then be done with it. Don't hang on to that song. I'm gonna do a PSA real quick. Guys, if you're a musician, a songwriter, and there's a song that you've been toying around with releasing for a few years, and the subject matter is of something that happened back in the day and you wanted to deal with it, it's absolutely fine that you should want to deal with it and you want to use that as a way to work through it. You should also just release that song, man. Just release it. Get it out there. Because...
let it all out, my man.
Yeah, because stuff has to come to an end. And if you hold on to the stuff that you're holding on to by not releasing that song, it will hinder your development process. I don't want to come across as self-righteous or anything, but I did not realize that until I released my EP. And this is why I'm determined to release this album that I'm working on in the next 6 to 12 months, because I need to get over this. I need to get over the stuff.
Of course, this was all before my EP.
You dick. You're such a dick. You're such a dick. Pull me out. Oh, we will. We will. So yeah, I'm gonna vouch for good old T.S. Eliot here. It's a great album. It's a great album.
Yeah.
And I think it's...
You know what? Like, go on.
No, you carry on.
I was just going to say, I will listen to it just for the principle of somebody getting credit for their own work.
Yeah.
Right.
And I will listen to it at least one. Well, Meg and I listened to it the other night, and I'm happy to say that I will, if I ever want to listen to one of Taylor's songs from that album, I'll be listening to those versions rather than the ones that don't give her, the songwriter, the money. And I'm wondering how much more of this we're going to see, because she can't be the only person that's had this happen to her.
Oh no,
especially
like she, and she would have been. She will be in the very, 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 very small minority of people who have actually been able to get credit for their own work. And that's because she is already a massive name.
Yeah.
You know, the number of people that this must be happening to, screwed over on contracts by producers and by record labels, and they just don't have enough of an audience who care to rally behind them. It is sad. And this is what I was saying about like politics being inextricably linked to music.
Yeah.
Because you can't, if you want music as an industry to survive, and if you want it to be respected, and if you want musicians to want to be in the music industry, then you have to fight for the right things. Because a record label is only going to look after their own interests.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is absolutely priority number one, far before the interests of the artists. That's how they've made their money. And that's how they're going to continue to do it, because it works.
And here's how intrinsic it is to our lives at the moment. I remember having episodes of children's TV shows in the day deal with the idea that music producers not music producers, but record labels will screw over the artist. Like I can remember being episodes of Arthur. Yeah. There's an episode where one of the people in Arthur's school is found to be really good at singing and gets approached by a record producer, and he essentially has plans to just use her for the short time that she's relevant for, and then throw in the garbage.
Man,
there was I feel like there's an episode of Recess that deals with it as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Do you remember You Get Me?
No, I don't.
It was a show. It was a show about a producer called Rude Boy.
Yes.
A 15-year-old kid or something,
and all the stingers in between. All the stingers in between the scenes were just going, "Rude Boy."
Yeah, Rude Boy. Yeah. So like he was trying to raise £1 million to look after his family after his dad died, because he took look after your family very, very seriously. So he became a producer called Rude Boy, and there was an episode where his little brother, because he was keeping it a secret from his whole family.
Yeah.
His little brother came into his room one day, heard this, put on this beat that was playing on his computer, and just sang over the top of it. And the track went wild. And so they started using the kid and to push it out further. And eventually he was like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. So you done killed it for me.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's artists that we shit on. Justin Bieber being one of them, because he is a dick, but he is also a victim of Scooter Braun. So his first set of records were essentially, like, I think it was, I can't remember, it might have been the first two albums, but he took the reason why Justin Bieber went mental is because after two albums, Justin Bieber was no longer relevant and got thrown in the garbage by Scooter Braun. And then he worked incredibly hard to get himself back into the public eye, because that's all he knows. Now, I'm not going to say that Justin Bieber is not a shit person, because Justin Bieber is a shit person.
Shit person.
Do I think that he deserved to be treated in that way? If that happened now, then yes. But because that happened to a 13-year-old kid, no, by no means should anybody be treated in that way. So, I think the PSA that we need to say is, don't go to any dinner parties, private parties with Harvey Weinstein. Don't take any deals from Scooter Braun. Calling you out, Broady boy, named after a fucking razor company.
What I shave my balls with. Come and shave my balls, Scooter. That's all you're good for.
Come, take me places, Scooter. Take me places.
Wash my balls and take me to a whorehouse like
a good Scooter Braun. Oh, he's got a gaming team as well now. He's got an esports team called 100 Thieves, which is I'm not going to say, I think it's a shit name for a team.
Well, quite serendipitous though.
Oh yeah. Speaking about thievery and being being disingenuous and generally being a bit of a bad guy. A piece of Muse, a piece of Muse, otherwise known as Matt Bellamy. Um, a piece of news
Just
that
a bit of it,
we.
though. You know which bit. Clack in one piece, Brian. You know what piece I mean.
Wash your sheets and your penis.
And your penis.
Okay, so a piece of news that we missed over the last couple of weeks. Sorry, let me just make sure that it's important. Oh no.
Is that important?
Not to me.
To someone, I'm sure.
So
A child's been kidnapped somewhere.
yeah, not important to me, but important to their family, no doubt. I'm not saying that no doubt is their family.
I've received a finger in the post, but it's to a different address. No, I don't need to worry about that.
Oh, I just imagine if no doubt was your family, would the ransom letter just be in cut out in little letters, would it say "Don't speak"? Okay, so there's a DJ. I'm not going to name him because I agree with the whole like if you're. I can name him because I named Scooter Braun, didn't I?
He did it again.
He did it again.
It's like every time you say scooter, I get some money, bitch.
Fuck.
I've got the masters to that name.
Okay, so Capital Extra is a radio show. It's a radio station here in the UK, based around London, which is why it's called Capital. But essentially, there was a DJ that is employed by them called DJ Tinny, and he was taking money to get people's songs played. Now, that's not in the normal sense of taking people's money to get the songs played, not in the sense that he was being paid by his bosses to play songs for money. Like literally, you give him 200 quid and he would play your song. And it's breaching Ofcom standards. So I wanted to have a quick little discussion on where is the line there. So if we both knew a DJ, if we both knew somebody who could get our music played, and you had 200 quid and I didn't, is it right that you would have your song played over mine? Let's say for the sake of argument that they are both objectively the same level of quality.
Sure. So yeah, it is really difficult, and it's a really interesting point because like I'm trying to think like if a band wants to record a track, back in the 90s, let's say, do you have money for studio time? If not, then your song doesn't get recorded.
Yep.
But at the same time, like, and that's the way that it is. If you've got money, then you can get things that you need to get. But at the same time, should someone's work, the work, the exposure that somebody's work gets, should it be purely down to money? No, I don't think so. I think that if a DJ was going to play songs that they've chosen, I feel like it's the right thing to do to say, I've chosen these because I like them, because they're good, not because the guy who wrote it has just got his birthday money in, But yeah, like, I don't know. At the same time, it can be a massive bump, which, given, if a play on the radio might get you masses of fans, in which case 200 quid is small beans. But if you don't have lots of plays, then 200 quid is not small beans, and it prevents you from work that may or may not be better from getting recognized on the same level.
Yeah, I mean, I've just had a devil's advocate thought while you were saying that, and my devil's advocate thought is, isn't that what like distribution companies do anyway? Like,
Yeah.
don't they pay radio stations a certain amount of money to play these particular songs? So is the reason why people got pissed off at this not because it happened, but because they weren't getting a cut of it?
Well, I think it's more about like because the station would have a contract with the record
Yeah.
labels where the record label would benefit, where the station would benefit, and where the artist would benefit, if only a little bit.
Mm.
What this is doing is you send me a song, I benefit from like outside of my contract where I'm being paid already to play these songs. I have got an income playing these songs. But just for me, you give me 200 quid, you no name, give me £200, which is a massive chunk of money.
Yep.
And I will benefit from that, and you might benefit from it. And it's just shitty, you know, whether or not it's okay, like whether or not it's morally, like if I were to steal a bottle of vodka from work and then sell it on the side, the company hasn't really suffered, but I have gained personally from something that I should not have been using to gain personally from. It's, you know, it's just a shitty thing to do to someone, I think. Well, not shit. You're not doing it to someone. You're doing it to everyone else, basically.
Okay, yeah. So it's not about preferential treatment of that one person. It's about the what's the word?
Wider implications, the principle.
It's the deprivation of the same level of service for everybody else who didn't pay that money.
Yeah. I mean, if this guy's already getting money for doing what he's supposed to be doing, he doesn't need to be making other people poorer or effectively controlling the music that somebody else gets to play to line his own pockets. You know, it just seems like whether or not it's illegal, it just seems like it's disrespectful to the music industry, which is more and more sort of becoming this twisted thing where it is, you know, we're only now starting to get to the point where we're trying to make it easier for smaller artists to actually get themselves heard. And it's like, you know, you don't need to do it. And like, if you want the music industry to continue, if long term you want your job to still be a thing that exists in the future, then you know, respect the artists, respect the industry, and respect what needs to be done in order for people to want to make music. You know, because if people think that they can only make music if they've got a lot of money, then nobody who hasn't got a lot of money is ever going to try it. And like, how many geniuses have been born, lived their lives, and died, and we've never known what they were capable of because there was money getting in their way. You know, I think it's sad.
It is. I mean, the situation with the music industry in general is dire at the moment. I'd still say it's still better than it used to be, because like what we said last week, even I'm not even going to just extend this to our opinions, but our music, like, it was so difficult to even find a place to get your music heard back in the day. Now it's very easy to get your music heard. There's just a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like, you can...
Yeah. It's a different challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. You can make the world's best sausage, but there's a lot of sausages out there to suck, so...
Now we know what Lawrence does with his sausages.
I'm so straight, I eat the sausage sideways. Oh...
sure you don't prick them.
I'm so straight. I take the hot dog out of the bun. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to move on now to what I think might be not necessarily the biggest topic we talked about today, but I think this is going to probably generate the most discussion.
Okay.
So this week, Eurovision has announced who the BBC presenters of Eurovision are going to be. Big deal.
Have we still got anything to do with it?
We're entering it.
Are we indeed?
I'm pretty sure we are.
Okay.
Because because there are countries that aren't part of Europe that are in Eurovision. Let me quickly. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to Google.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Do we know why though?
I do know why. Literally, the first thing I typed, non-European countries, they're filled in with in Eurovision. So the following countries are countries that have competed in Eurovision despite not being part of Europe. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Israel, Cyprus, Armenia, Western Asia, Morocco, North Africa, Australia, Turkey, where only part of Turkey is in Europe.
Yeah.
Russia, Georgia, Azerbaijan.
I thought Russia.
Russia is.
I thought Russia was in Europe.
No, Russia's in Asia.
Well.
Because it's so think about the map and where the part of Asia is right at the top of that massive landmass across the top.
Yeah.
That's Russia. Ukraine is part of Europe. Ukraine, which is in between Europe and Russia, that's part of Europe.
I've got shit geography.
It's all right, mate.
Well, I already knew that, to be fair.
As long as you knew, that's okay. Look. As long as I know that 2 and 2 doesn't make 5, it doesn't matter what the answer is.
Doesn't matter what the answer is. Yeah.
Look, as long as I know that the score of the hypotenuse is more or less the sum of the score on the other two sides. I don't need to know what the actual number is.
Just don't give me numbers. Just letters. A, B, C.
Just
that's fine.
In my maths exams, I only show my working.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the answer, but I know how I'd get there if I did.
Literally, I draw
half marks all the way through. You're like...
No, I get full marks because I draw me counting on my hands.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, this guy could draw hands."
He's so good.
Weirdly, on my art exam, I didn't do very well at all because I only expressed things as fractions.
It's like cubism.
It's like can I not have the good? Yeah, just expressing it just your working is the equivalent of protesting that 5G towers don't give you enough COVID. I don't want the good cellular service. Just give me the COVID, please. Or a joke that I heard this week in a podcast where going to a vaccination centre, can I just have the chip, please?
Yeah. That's great.
I would love to take credit for that joke, but I'm not going to. That's Nick and Nick from the Get Rich Nick podcast.
So there's little videos like, let me show you what's in one of your face masks. There's a little tiny chip in here. And we look, what else? A little tiny webcam. Now they can spy on you. If we go even further in, it's a motherboard. Now they can spy on you and your mother. Now let's see.
So back to the topic at hand. To answer your question, the reason why some countries are entered into Eurovision is because money. Like you literally you pay to enter into Eurovision.
I answered this question earlier.
Yeah.
Ahead of time. Just like whenever I have a question now, I'll just tell myself, 'cause money.
Exactly.
It's probably right.
Like,
It's like if I ever have to guess someone's name, I'm gonna go for John.
why not Bill?
Bill?
Yeah, dollar bill.
No.
The answer's money. You said.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, but I'm talking about making safe bets.
Oh,
Most
sorry.
things come down to money.
Sorry.
And if I were to see a guy on the street and somebody said, "Right, guess that guy's name," my safest bet would be John. So
I would say the safest bet would be Dave.
Dave,
Because that's the reason why Dave, the channel called themselves Dave, because everybody knows at least one Dave.
Oh. Yeah, but I think it's more because Dave seems to be a name that you can. Dave is a funny sounding name.
Is a what?
If you just
name?
Dave, it's a weird sounding name. Dave.
Dave.
I don't know. Dave.
The word Dave has lost all meaning now. I'm not going to
Dave.
trust anyone called Dave now. Because it's like, Dave, your name sounds fucking... Dave! Ugh.
See.
What a fucking weird name. The question I wanted to ask is...
Anyway.
Is Eurovision fucking relevant anymore? What's the fucking point of Eurovision? Like, it's
money.
Been going for a really long time.
Because John.
Because zebras. I mean, horses. I just don't understand it. Like, so
well, it's
I don't understand. I don't know how it came to be in the. I can imagine how it came to be in the first place because someone was like, "Hey, our singers are better than your singers," and so they go, "Let's have a competition." But it's been going for so long now.
To stab each other anymore, but we.
Yeah, if this was a case of instead of going to war, we enter our best singer into a Eurovision Song Contest, but there are so many rules there. That just...
Eurovision is the precursor to the Hunger Games.
He's blown it apart today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, definitely. Give it 100 years. Slovenia. You're dead.
I just don't understand. There's so many rules for who can and cannot enter. It becomes not about music. Like it's not about who has the best musician. It's about who doesn't have the worst musician.
Yeah.
It's like you can't enter if you've had a top 40 hit or something like that. What? Let's look at the rules. The rules to enter Eurovision.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
Okay.
Just like there is the occasional good song to come out of Eurovision, but it is mostly the same shit. Just like people trying to win with whatever won a few years ago.
Okay, so the compositions must not have been commercially released before the 1st of September. That's fine to give them enough time to like consider them.
Yeah, because you can write the best song ever and then just wait for a bit.
Yeah. In case the composition has been made available to the public, so you can't just have a song trend on TikTok and nowhere else.
Sure.
Each performance may consist of a maximum of 6 people on stage. Although I'm pretty sure that Gwar had like 8 to 10 people on stage.
I'm sure I've seen more than 6 people on a Eurovision stage.
Maybe have they changed it now for COVID? Maybe.
Henny Wemprethid. Yeah, probably.
The chuff and the splint. No live animals should be allowed on stage. That's fine. All contestants and artists competing in a semi-final must be aged at least 16 on the day of the final. Okay.
Yeah.
No contestant or artist may compete for more than one country, and then it goes on to voting. But what? Hold on. The songs. I've just gone through that. Maximum duration of the song is 3 minutes. So not even...
3?
Yeah, 3 minutes is the maximum duration.
I'm sure there have been songs that lasted... Maybe I just really haven't enjoyed them. They've just dragged.
Maybe.
But 3 minutes? That's short, man.
Well, it is short. Yeah, I mean, because a normal radio play song is 3.5.
I think even 3.5 is kind of short.
Oh, a lot. I guess it depends on the
I
genre
mean,
now.
yeah. Well, I'm satisfied if it's like I don't like it too much going over 4 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm satisfied if it's around like 3 3/4, 4 minutes. Just like
Ooh,
over 3.5, and I'm happy, basically.
here's here's an interesting rule. You're
Mm.
not allowed to play your instrument live. You have to
Mm.
mime.
Well, then, yeah. There's no point at all, then, is there?
No.
So you're a bit. Oh, who did the best song? None of them. None of them did any songs. He stood up and pretended for exactly 3 minutes.
Um,
Yeah,
I
what's the
can't do
point?
this.
What
Yeah.
what is the point then?
So is I don't understand it anymore. Like if it was, I could understand it back in like the 60s,
Mm.
70s.
And you could also understand not playing your songs live then, because like, live sound was a lot trickier than playing over the sound system and then having them mime along to it. But it's not difficult
But
now.
also, the other thing is when you look at the voting is all political as well.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, well, people vote mostly for their own country.
well, yeah, no, the countries vote for different countries.
Oh yeah, you can't vote for your own country,
Yeah.
but they vote the pally ones vote for each other.
So,
So like
like,
the
well,
Scandinavians are in an in group.
yeah, and the England always votes for Ireland, but Ireland never votes for England.
We're sorry.
Just
Fuck you.
oh.
We baked you some cookies. I'm lactose intolerant, you fuck.
um, but it's just, there's also some that vote for each other who hate each other. Like Portugal and Spain always vote for each other, but they fucking hate each other.
Doesn't matter, devil you know.
Holland and Germany always vote for each other, and they're football rivals. Um, I just don't understand it. It's the closest we could. Oh, my camera's all blurry. It's the closest we got to turning music into a sport without it being anything like a sport. Like
Yeah, where we don't care about doping.
yeah, like I would like it to be
That's
more of
not
a
his
sport.
real voice.
I would like it to be more of a sport. I would like it to. Should we rewrite the rules of Eurovision?
Rap battles,
Rap battles.
competitive singing and shit.
So So here's what we do. Here's what we do. Okay. We get rid of the rule that I can't find anymore, but I'm pretty sure was a rule that they can't be like a famous artist. You can absolutely have your best artist be
Well, I
representing
mean,
of your
didn't
country.
Bucks Fizz? They were pretty famous before Eurovision, right?
No, they were famous after Eurovision.
Oh, I see.
They were famous because of Eurovision.
Okay.
So I think you should be allowed. Top 40 artists should be allowed.
Okay. Yeah.
Look, just because our music schools are better than yours music schools doesn't mean we have to suffer, all right?
You know what? Here it is. Here it is, man. Just get rid of the contest bit. Just have Eurovision, a showcase of the best talent from around Europe and musicians from different countries making music together, like meeting each other for the first time, maybe improvising something, or these guys have written a song about like the relationship between their two countries. Just make it a night. Just make it like comic relief, you know. But
that's another thing. You're not allowed to
music.
make political songs.
I mean, I don't even think it would need to be political song. Like you'd want it to be like an upbeat thing. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I would get rid of that. Get rid of the no politics one, because like if you want to write a comedy song.
So the reason they have the no politics rule is so that artists can't use their
Every
music.
year, they
No,
just spend the whole year writing a slag off for another country in a song.
no, it's about the current leaders. It's so that you can't have an artist. It's so that Eurovision can't be held responsible if an artist decides they want to write a song that shits all over their leader.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So I can't remember what it was, but last year, the person who might have been Georgia. I can't remember what country it was, but a particular country, their artist was thrown in prison because their Eurovision song entry criticised the leader.
Jesus. I mean, you can screen those things anyway. You'd have to look at the song's lyrics, surely, before you allowed them in.
I don't know, man.
But like, I think saying no politics altogether just sort of removes the possibility for sort of light-hearted. And if I'm talking about, these two countries have written a song together, that would mean that it's just low-hanging fruit. England and Germany can't. It's fine to pick the low-hanging fruit if you acknowledge it beforehand. But yeah, if England and Germany were to get together to write a song, it would be good. It would be fun if they could allude to the fact that they used to be enemies, like mortal enemies, basically, and now they're here, 100 years later, making music together in the spirit of cooperation. Like, you shouldn't be able to not mention. You shouldn't be not allowed to mention the history that you have.
In medieval times, we're the best of buds. In 1942, you fucked it up.
Now it's 2020 and we're best buds.
Two world wars and World Cup. Oh, damn. 2 world wars and 1 World Cup.
You know what? There's a Tim Minchin. He's like, I wrote a song for Israel and Palestine. They just need a peace anthem.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You know what? Pigs.
I think. You know what? I think we're doing wrong here. We're trying to take something which is inherently fucking dumb and stupid and trying to make it something sensible.
Yeah, this is one of those things where you need to throw it out and start again. Right?
No, let's just. Why don't we just come up with some stupid shit just to make it more fucking entertaining? At the moment, the countries are taking it too seriously. Why are they voting politically? Why don't we make it so stupid that it doesn't matter who you vote for?
Whoever you vote for gets put into an algorithm and it changes your vote to something else. Depending on where you're calling from, which country you voted for, what time it was when you called. Just like a complete randomness.
Or okay, how about you pick 3 countries? Your votes will be worth 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points. And then at random it'll assign which country gets the 1, the 2, and the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And randomly also it also says a country gets minus 20 points.
Yeah. Like a game of Magic.
I agree.
Put enchantment on the Eurovision Song Contest.
I agree. Okay, let's also turn this into more of a sport. Okay, so esports have this really cool thing. So have you ever played or watched someone play anything like League of Legends or yeah. So you know that at the beginning of the character selection stage, there is a period of time where the opposing team can vote for a character to veto, so that the other team can't pick it.
Sure.
Yeah. How about in there's 2 sets of artists. There are the artists that you want to enter into your fucking
into your
sorry. There's the artist that you want to enter as your entry into the Eurovision Song Contest, okay? And there is also a musician that you enter into the separate pool. And what happens is when the artist gets picked, there is a random draw that happens. One of those random artists has to play with one of the entries. The idea is that you pick fucking awful artists. So it would be like, okay, so America, let's say, for example, this is now a world thing. I think it should be open to the world, to be fair.
Yeah.
America, for their entry, have decided to pick the. I'm trying to think of a good American band. America have decided to pick the Foo Fighters as their band to represent them in the Eurovision Song Contest, and as their handicap, they have picked Randy Newman. Can you imagine being like, okay, so from Korea we have BTS and their handicap and America's handicap, Randy Newman. Like, he's just, and they're like,
Randy Newman's voice singing in Korean. Like,
can you imagine how awesome that would be?
I'm not even gonna try.
Can you imagine how awesome that would be?
And
here's here
little honky tonk.
And here's the cherry on the top. Whoever the handicap artist is, I don't want to use the word handicap. Whoever the I can't think of a good word.
The dance. It's kind of mean though.
Yeah, we'll call them the.
You just like after people get chosen,
wild
they're
card.
like, "All right, it's because they think I'm shit."
We'll call them the wild card.
Okay.
Okay, so whoever the wild card artist is, before they go on stage, they have to take a load of LSD. So it would be BTS with Randy Newman trying to eat some of the instruments as they're all trying to do. Can you imagine how awesome that would be?
It's like running away from applause. Don't touch me!
Okay, so
the hands, they're after me.
So you're allowed. So first of all, no more Eurovision. It's World Vision now. The entire world can take part. In fact, let's take away the fact that you pay to enter. Let's say every year a country must enter.
It's fined if they don't.
No. If you win, you get $1 billion written off of your national debt.
But okay, yeah, carry on. Yeah.
$1 billion. Sorry, 1 billion. The equivalent of 1 billion euros, because it started off in Europe. The equivalent of 1 billion euros written off of your national debt. So that way, people want to, because then they get a little bit of a helping hand.
But then, how much money do they have to put into entering?
That's up to them. It's a gamble. It's free to enter. But you can
just send in the village.
You still have to pay. It's free to enter, but you have to pay the artist. You have to pay your wildcard artist. You have to work out contracts in your own country. So it's up to the country how much money they want to invest in winning this.
Sure. Okay.
And and I think that there should be also face-offs, and this is where the rap battle comes in. Instead of wars. You say, right, we're going to get our rapper to face your rapper in the World Vision Song Contest as part of a face-off. So Israel-Palestine will happen every year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it'd be really cool because in Israel versus Palestine rap battle.
It's just like get it all out once a year, just purge.
Yep.
Just in a rap battle.
And terrorist organizations are allowed to enter. So it'd be Al-Qaeda versus America in there. ISIS versus America.
I can see problems with that.
Oh, shit.
I'm not going to say what they are, but I can see real problems with them.
You're right. Okay, so maybe not that.
I don't think it's going to work, mate. I think a lot of people are going to be upset if that happens, you know.
Okay, you know how you're supposed to be the guy that reins me in?
Am I? Oh, shit.
You fucked up.
I've dropped the ball.
You fucked up, mate. You've allowed me to talk about terrorist organizations. You fucked up. Okay, so let's bring it back then. No terrorist organizations. But I think that instead of a war...
That's one of the rules. No terror.
Yeah, no terrorists allowed. Yeah, but instead of a war, there is a subsection. So now you have to enter 3 artists. You're entering the artists that are actually competing, your wildcard artists, and if you want to go to war with somebody, instead of going to war with them, you have to enter your rapper.
I'll see you in the arena.
2 men enter, and they both leave, but one of them has won.
One of them will be slightly embarrassed, though.
Oh, what do you think?
What do I think? Like I'm going to go, yeah, let's do it. I'll empty my savings.
Okay, so what? Okay, so how would you do it? Big dick.
I don't know. I like it. I like it. I just can't fund it, dude.
I'm not saying you should fund it. This is
I don't want to firefest this thing.
We're not. Look, we're just the brain children right here. We're just coming up with an idea and working out the kinks. So the Beatles.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What did I start saying?
The Beatles?
I don't know, man. I've drunk so much smoothie. I'm on like a
off his tits on antioxidants.
Mate, oh my god, so much coconut water. Here, I'm a guy.
Cocoa for calcium.
Mr. and Mrs. Hobbs, I'm very sorry. Your son died of a kale overdose.
No!
He took
the green that kaled him.
He took a spinach to the noggin. Okay, so enter 3 artists. Your entry artist, your wildcard artist, your rapper if you want to go to war with somebody. The winner of the Eurovision Song Contest gets €1 billion worth of their national debt written off. The loser takes on the billion.
Okay, I was going to ask where that $1 billion is going to go, because someone's got to pay it.
Yeah, someone's got to pay it. I mean, the whole issue that we were talking about at the beginning was that money is no object.
But the loser. But okay, right. So now I'm thinking, if the loser adopts another €1 billion worth of debt, the poor countries who can't afford to put that much money into winning are just going to get so much more debt. And then, like, people are going to be spending, these richest countries are going to be spending all of their money, and every year just getting a little bit knocked off their debt until suddenly, like, Ghana's deep in the fucking hole. So far,
it'll force Ghana to get better at their music education.
Lawrence Hobbs. Lawrence Carl Sigourney Hobbs.
Okay, so here's
force it. Well, it's their own bloody fault if they don't want to put the effort in.
Okay, so here's another idea. Then.
They have to want to get out of poverty.
Okay, so how about all the losers collectively have $1 billion added to their national debt? So they don't all, like, the $1 billion is split between the other countries.
Is it split evenly or in terms of GDP?
Oh, fucking hell, this is too complicated now. Right, okay, so
this is...
Okay, fine. The winner gets a trophy.
I mean, now we're talking. Trophies are cheap.
I want it to be a big enough prize that all the countries want to enter and want to try and do well.
It would make more sense if you did have to pay to enter, based on your GDP, I guess, the country's GDP. Because then you've got the money coming from somewhere to give to another country, to give to the winning country. And nobody's paying a massive amount off of somebody else's debt. It's the same as, like, 5 of you. It's like, oh, all 5 of you put £1 in here, and then we'll draw a name out of the 5 at random. Whoever wins gets £5.
Okay, how many countries are there in the world?
Huh?
How many countries are there in the world?
200 and something. I mean, not all of them are going to want. I don't know.
They've all got to.
There is an island of people who we've decided we're not going to go near because they haven't been exposed to modern civilization.
Yeah, but they're not a country, are they? They haven't got a flag.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They haven't got a flag. Jesus Christ. 195.
Yeah, that's what
since South Sudan became independent in 2011. Plus some 60 dependent areas. Okay.
Okay, so if each country pays 5 million to get in, that's your billion.
I mean, that's nothing.
That's so much money. That's so much money. What about Uganda?
What about my gander? She's fine. It's the goose I'm worried about.
Get out. I'm muting you now. Actually, no, hold on. I guess that's not fair for me to mute you, considering you didn't... Well, you don't have the power to mute me, but you could have muted me over my terrorist stuff. The fact that very briefly...
proud of that, actually.
Oh...
What about Uganda?
Well, they can't afford 5 million just to enter a Eurovision world contest or whatever I called it.
Well, I mean, does it have to be a billion?
Yes, because I think it should be enough like debt written off to make everyone want to enter.
Yeah, but like, think a billion is 1,000 times more than a million.
Yes.
You could do 500,000, and that is
you could...
half the amount of money, but it's still fucking plenty.
Okay, hold on. What can $1 billion buy? Okay, you ready for this?
All of Poundland.
Okay, so $1 billion... Fucking Poundland. Okay, so... Oh, no, I don't want it. I don't want the billions split up.
If you had a billion, you could spend 1 million over here. So like, I know what costs less than £1 million.
It said you could spend it on fucking a fast car, and I'm like, yeah, but none of them cost $1 billion. Okay, you ready for this? You could buy the Miami Marlins, the baseball team.
They have basketball team.
Baseball team. You could buy 2 of the most expensive house in America.
Okay.
You could buy 2 Leonardo da Vinci original pieces of art. You could buy 1 and most of this particular super yacht. So actually, you could buy a private island for 1 billion. So actually, 1 billion is enough for a rich person to buy a load of weird stuff. But also, like, if you think about how much governments spend on like their military, like there's these missiles, I can't remember what they're called, but they're worth something like 2 million each. You can buy a fuckload of missiles. I think $1 billion is how much this prize is going to have to be worth.
It's a lot though.
It is a lot.
That's a lot. That's $1 million.
Yeah, because
times 100.
Because it has to
times
be
10.
Because if you look, if someone said, "Hey, Lawrence and Theo, we've got a competition here. You can win £1,000." Yeah, we'd be like, "Fuck yeah, that's a lot of money to us." If you say to a government, to a country, "Hey, there's this competition here. You can win £1,000," they'd be like, "I'd rather just pay someone to give me £1,000." Like,
I'm not saying the prize should be £1,000 off of your national debt.
I'm saying
you
that
would absolutely spend more than £1,000 to get in, right?
I would say that $1 billion is the smallest amount of money that would get a country, some of the larger countries, interested in participating.
$1 billion is still... I think $1 billion is bigger than you think it is.
I know it's bigger than you think I think it is, because I know that to count to 1 million, it takes like something like 2 days, and to count to $1 billion, it takes like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but that's just such a lot of money, man.
Yeah, but there are stuff that costs a lot of money.
Be so inflexible about it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. What is the UK national debt?
I don't know.
The UK national debt is... Ooh. Okay, you ready for this? Are you ready for
Yeah.
this? The general government gross debt of the UK is 1,876.8 billion.
So trillions then.
I think a billion is the smallest amount of money that we would have to offer in order to get all the countries interested.
What? Hang on. What is the prize for Eurovision right now? What do you win when you win Eurovision? Official winner's trophy.
You get a trophy.
And the songwriters and composers receive smaller versions. So right now, nobody's actually benefiting. They get a trophy. So
Exactly.
even
Sorry, you're
100 million.
500
million.
500 million, so half a billion.
Half a billion.
Is that what you're asking about? Is that what you're asking? You're suggesting half a billion?
Yeah, so I'm saying, given that nobody currently in Eurovision, given that nobody actually wins any money right now anyway, replacing Eurovision with something where you can win even half a billion is still, it's going to be twice as cheap as something where you win a billion, but people are still going to actually benefit from it.
Okay.
I feel, you know.
Let's okay. So fine. You have a country that has £1 trillion worth of debt. You've just got 500 million written off. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Was it?
That's 500. That's 500 million that the taxpayer isn't now responsible for.
There's still you're still in
500 million that we don't have to put back into paying our debt and can put into the art or education or scientific research.
That's still
500 million. Ain't nothing. Birthday money every year.
I think that a country would rather go to war than win 500 million.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Not my country. You were asking about my country.
Danny Wallace's
We're
country.
loving people.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely. Come to lovely.
Come to lovely. Okay, so 500 million prize. Okay, 500 million prize for the winner. The losers collectively across all the rest of the losers have to pay them for that. Okay? But here's the thing. Oh no, we can't do that because everyone's in debt already. So it's just adding to a negative number that doesn't matter.
We're still spending even though we're in debt.
Okay. So the other countries have to foot the bill for that. The losing countries. You enter 3 artists. You enter the artist that you want to actually compete, an artist to fuck up the other competitors, and a rapper to participate in a rap battle to settle any in lieu of going to war with another country. So you only have to cool. So you only have to submit a rapper if you don't want to go to war. Cool. What else? Is that it? Have we solved it? Have we solved Eurovision? Have we made Eurovision relevant again?
Fixed it?
Who runs it?
We do.
You and me.
You and me.
With our technical genius.
Oh, yeah.
I could barely get a podcast to run every week, mate.
It's all going to change.
It's all going to change when I get that
this
sweet
podcast.
Oh my god, have we
small beans, mate? Eurovision.
If we take a 1% cut.
That's plenty. That's plenty, mate.
We've solved Eurovision, people.
We've solved all of it. We've solved your problem, my problem, the world's problems. We're done, man.
I've literally written
it's
underneath.
It's only 20-2.
Underneath my Eurovision question, I've written solved. There we go. Okay, so should we take a break and refill our cups and then come back and talk about some songs?
Like it.
Okay, so if you're watching live, we will be back in a few minutes. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, thank you very much for checking out the video. This is normally the point where people switch off, but don't switch off, because there's another entire half of this that is ready to go for you. This has already happened.
Get my boobs out.
You don't lie. If you
told me I was going to get my boobs.
If you're watching on YouTube, just fast forward by a few minutes, and we'll be back with you. Other than that, if you're watching live, we'll see you in a few. Ciao for the moment. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
For a minute. But we'll be back.
Goodbye.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2 of Why Can't I Do Music at a Show, talking about music. I flipped it up. I fucked it up. A show where we talk about music, making music, what we do about making music, what we have to do about it. There we go.
Perfect.
Perfecto.
I see you've had a bump of coke on the break.
Got an ice cube stuck up my nose. The oldest joke. It's not even funny as a joke anymore. There are some jokes out there that when you first hear them, you're like, that is a banger. I would like to tell that to everyone I know. And the more you hear it, the more you realise it's just a lazy joke.
Okay.
The joke that I hate more than any joke in the world ever is when you say, right, and someone says left. And
Yeah.
you're like, I'm sorry, did you strain your brain trying to come up with that punchline to this very, very easy little setup here?
I was just going to say, I hope my girlfriend's sister isn't watching.
I really just say that a lot.
Every time. So she works with me as well.
Yeah.
Oh well, she doesn't anymore. I moved to Wales.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. By choice.
Oh.
Go figure.
Okay.
Anyway.
There's nothing wrong with Wales, to be fair. It's better than Bristol.
It's just the Welsh.
Well, it's better than Bristol because you can live there for the amount of money that you get paid. So.
Yeah. Anyway, back to mastering.
Yeah. So
these in jokes, before you get an audience, these in jokes are going to be so old that absolutely nobody is going to know what.
Well, this is the thing. You kind of retire jokes as they go on. So also, I was thinking about renaming the channel, going and making it something with my actual name, because Odd Hobbs, I only go by Odd Hobbs on Twitch. I don't go by Odd Hobbs anywhere else apart from my personal Instagram, and I think that's confusing that my personal Instagram is called Odd Hobbs and my professional one isn't. So,
yeah,
I don't want to have the word music in my Twitch title, because I think immediately that puts me off as a streamer, as a viewer.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, whenever I have whenever
take mine out,
I just have it as Theo Dehaney.
Yeah.
You have to wait 6 months after you've created the channel before you can change your name, though. It's a 6 month cooldown.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. How long have you got to wait then? Another 2?
No, I'm fine because I have had this.
Oh yeah, you've had this account for ages. Yeah.
So I don't know what I want to actually change the name to, but I'm pretty sure I don't want it to be Odd Hobbs anymore. And I don't want it to have the word music in, and I don't want it to have the word official in because I'm not official enough.
Lawrence Hobbs unofficial. There are no copycat Lawrence Hobbs.
Oh, should I call it unofficial Lawrence Hobbs?
I mean, that'd be funny.
Lawrence
but
Hobbs parody account.
If down the line you do actually go big, there are going to be people with original Lawrence Hobbs. People are going to assume the unoriginal.
Well, they're going to be people like that anyway. Yeah, for the longest time, Phoebe Bridges' account name was Fake Nudes. And it was only last year that she changed it.
Well, fair to go then, man.
I don't know.
Unofficial Lawrence Hobbs.
Unofficial Lawrence Hobbs. L Hobbs. I don't know. I got to brainstorm it. It's taken me 4 months to come up with a name for the album, and I'm still unsure about a particular wording of it. So I definitely want to call it Arcane. What was it? Arcane Treatments for Old Time Trauma. But I don't know if I wanted to call it Arcane Treatments for Old Time Trauma or Arcane Treatments for Modern Trauma.
I mean, modern would be more of a juxtaposition, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Also,
and it makes more sense because it seems like it reads to me like it should be an oxymoron. You know, it's like teaching an old tricks.
Yeah.
something like that.
Arcane treatments for modern trauma.
What I mean, what is all this nonsense? This is arcane treatment for modern trauma. What's this?
It works.
We don't do this
anymore.
Works.
I also came up with what I want to rebrand the Foxhead as. So I still want the Fox and the Foxy Lady to be a brand, but I want it to be easily replicatable. I don't want you to have to I want it to be something that you could scribble in graffiti on the side of a toilet door if you wanted to. So I'll come up with this.
Yeah.
It's still definitely a fox head. I like that a lot too.
This reminds me, while I'm thinking of it, what is the name of the channel that we started in our first year of uni where we posted the archaic word generator app?
It was called Independent Philosophy.
Independent Philosophy. I thought it was Independent something. I couldn't find, because I've been wanting to show my girlfriend that video.
I think it's on,
despite the fact it's long.
I think it's on Rich's YouTube channel. And it was, I remember the intro being la 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 la. Oh no.
La 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 la.
That's the
splotch
one.
of ink. Damn it! Independent Philosophy.
Oh, that's much. Yep.
Yeah, I like that. That was great.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about with that's great. Watch the video of me creating a stinger for a kids TV show. Do some homework and you'll be in on the joke.
Do your shit, man.
Yeah, man. Do your shit.
We can only meet you halfway.
Well, I can meet you more than halfway, but I won't. I can go all the way, baby. But I won't because I respect your boundaries.
All the way and then a bit further and then realise I made a wrong turn and turn around again. That's how far I can go, baby. I don't mind.
All the way to the moon and back, and there's a lot of things further than the moon, I'll have you know. It's always bothered me when people say I love you all the way to the moon and back, and I was like, that's a very close thing that you decided to. Like, that is the shore of the cosmic ocean. Yeah, it's like if you want me to, I could hang around with you. Yeah, it's like saying, oh, it's as big as a paddling pool. Like, the emphasis is there. Like, you get the idea that the person thinks it's very big, but actually a paddling pool is quite small. So yeah, it's like your perspective is small. Right? Yeah. Zoom out a little. Small brain ideals for big brain problems. Yeah, that could be a good book. You're the most beautiful girl in the room. Exactly. In the whole wide room. Oh, so should we talk about some music? Let's do that. Do you want to kick us off? Well, do you want to intro the bit? I'd love to. Right, so this is a section called Songs We Can't Get Enough Of. Every week, Lawrence and I, we talk about a song, or sometimes a couple of songs that have just sort of caught us over the week. And it might be because we like the production, it might be because we like the lyrics, it might be just because it's funny, or it's just got a thing about it. But every week we talk about these songs and they go onto a playlist, which you can find on Spotify. It's called Why Can't I Do Music Good? Songs We Can't Get Enough Of. And I believe Lawrence will have put this week's ones up already. Yep. And we're going to talk about them now. And then whenever you like, go listen to it. So the advantage is, if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can pause the video, go to the playlist, listen to the final two songs on that playlist, and then come back and watch the rest of the video. Literally 6 minutes of work. All we're trying to say is we can't do all the work here. We need some help. We don't want to get sued, dude. That was a very Tom Scott way of me using my hands just then. We can't all do it. The only way it would have been more Tom Scott is if I'd have done this. Where he's like, there's people out there who just don't. It's yeah. I'm here in front of this green screen. One take. Shout out to Tom Scott, great channel. What a legend. Keith Skizzle. I should also say that these songs are in no way songs that we deem as perfect or unfaultable. in fact, sometimes the charm of the song is that it's a very faultable song.
Yeah.
They're just songs that we've listened to, and we're like, you know what? I could absolutely listen to that again. And we don't always agree either. There are songs on there that I'm pretty sure that Theo could listen to a million times, and I couldn't, and vice versa. So yeah, do you wanna kick us off with your
With
song
my one?
today? Yeah.
Yeah. So this week, so I've been recently getting I've been listening to a lot more Nina Simone.
Good man.
And
Good man. Not Nina
yeah,
Simone.
well,
Nina Simone is a good woman. You
yeah.
are a good man for
But
listening to her.
the thing is, because my mum's a jazz singer, so there was a lot of Nina Simone going on in the house, to the point where, you know, when you've listened to an album so many times that you know the order of the track, so
Yeah, I
you
have
can
a similar
hear the end of one
situation.
track and know exactly, you know, how the next starts.
Yeah, I'm a similar situation where my parents were Christians, therefore there's a lot of Michael W. Smith in the house. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's one of those songs, and you know, I was listening to any idea of
say
the
that again, mate.
context behind. So I was listening to Nina Simone before I had any idea of the context behind, you know, the her as a person, and then as a result of that, the lyrics that she wrote. But there's a particular line from this song which has, for whatever reason, always stuck with me, and now seems sort of massively relevant. So
what's
the
the
song is,
okay, you're going to it. Sorry.
yeah, the song is "I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free" by Nina Simone. And firstly, you've had a listen to it, yeah?
I have, yeah. So when I didn't recognize the name when I listened to the song. But when I actually like heard it, I was like, oh, this song. It's one of those songs that you have heard a lot in your life. You just haven't actively listened to it. Well, in my circles, I haven't actively listened to it, but I have heard it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing, like, it's wicked. It's a wicked song. We had a question, like, right near the beginning of when we were doing this show, where somebody was saying, why don't people appreciate music unless it's recorded on high-end gear and unless it's all perfect? And I think this is like an amazing example of how that's not necessarily the case, because like the equipment that they recorded on then probably was very expensive.
Yeah.
But you listen to it now, objectively, it's crap. It's crackly. You know, this is not how I'd EQ it. You know, we didn't have enough mics going on. Not everything's isolated properly. Like, you've sent the piano all the way over to the left on that, which you're not really meant to do.
Yeah.
But it's still a wicked song. Doesn't matter.
It's very sparse as well. There's not there is and there isn't a lot going on at the same time. Like, the band is big. There's a lot of instruments, but there's not very many instruments playing at the same time, which is an interesting way of doing it.
I think it relies more on the words than on the music.
Yeah, when you've got a name,
like, yeah,
I was just gonna say, when you've got a name like Nina Simone, your job as a musician is to support Nina Simone. This is not your time, my friend.
Like, it ain't about you.
No.
But yeah, like, so, but like, first off, it is just the intro is just the do 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 do. By the time that's played through, you know exactly what the song's going to be like.
Yeah.
Like, you understand that you're going to like it.
Yeah.
And then on the, you know, the second half of that, the do 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 do, and you're like, yeah. Like, why would you need any more an intro than this?
Yeah.
And then straight in, tiny little drum fill, and then Nina Simone, and she's, you know, what she's singing is complementing the rhythm that the piano is playing, and it just, yeah, it really is. It's all centered around Nina and the message that she's trying to impart. And the lyric that is sort of stuck with me forever. Like, I again, when I was a kid and I heard it, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the context. But it was always sort of, I guess I enjoyed the rhyme of it. It was like, I wish you could know what it means to be me, then you'd see and agree that every man should be free. And it's like, firstly, it's a great lyric.
Yeah.
It's a really good lyric. But now when I think about it, when you think of, the how Nina Simone must have felt when she was writing it as a black woman.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I can only imagine, because I'm neither of those things, and I don't have any family members who've had to endure that either, as much as some of my family members would like to believe that they've endured hardship. They haven't. I'm looking at you, Mum. Sorry, that was bad taste joke.
Coming up, an awkward phone call.
You said what? You gave me what voice when you were doing an impression of me over the phone?
Exactly what she sounds like.
You made me sound like a Londoner. Oh.
But yeah, so like, and that lyric, just like thinking now, and especially when thinking about how things have been recently.
Yeah.
And the lyric itself, it just says so much for black people and for women and for black women and just for generally people who don't have the sweetest end of the deal, which is that most of our problems come from the way that we treat each other. There is enough food in the world to feed everyone, but some people are greedy. There is enough money in the world for everybody to live comfortably, but most of it is owned by the minority of people. And it's like, the lyric to me just says, look, if I could take you out of your rich, white, privileged head and put you in the body of a black woman in the 60s, then, and you could live a day in my life, then you would come out of that going, I will never treat someone as inferior again, because I know, how it feels to be you inside is exactly the same as how it feels to be me. Like, the differences that we see in each other are just stuff that we see on the surface, and we've put importance onto it. And if you knew how it felt to be degraded for the color of your skin or for the genitals you were born with, if you knew how that felt, then you would say, well, this doesn't, these things aren't important. They're so superficial.
I don't think I'd even say that it's a message to rich white privileged people. I think, judging by the fact that it's a song that's still in the blues format, so that she understands that people who don't listen to blues or soul or jazz are probably not going to listen to this. So, and the higher up in the class you get, I guess it's different from America because America didn't have so much of a classical movement that we had. But I think it's a message to the everyman. It's a case of it's a message saying, look, people who are in the same position as me have it better. Sorry, no, that's a wrong way of saying it. I've put the emphasis on the wrong thing. People who I am in the same position as, guys, I've got it worse. Like, I remember I was having an argument with someone over Reddit. I'm gonna read my quote verbatim because I think it's important for context. So where is my quote? This is where I'm never going to be able to find it again. That explains a lot.
This is the song of conversation. What is it going to land on? This is the song of conversation. Behold the power of rant. Dumb.
That explains why my Reddit was broken earlier, because I was on the I'm on my anonymous. I was on my on my nobody knows me account. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my. Trying to work out how to find my history of comments. Oh, but what the? No, fuck off.
Should be button top left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it my profile?
You got it.
Yes, there we go. Okay. Okay. So this was on the Bristol subreddit, and it was about the Kill the Bill protests. And somebody, I'm not going to mention their username because I don't want a brigade here, but it said, "Why is racism against white people okay? I'm still waiting to receive my white privilege card in the post. I'm told it gives me, a working class person brought up in a poverty, a better life over hundreds of thousands of rich and famous black people."
Mm-hmm.
And I said I couldn't hold in me. I know that on Reddit it's just better to ignore it. But I couldn't, so I didn't. Sorry about my cat.
Oh my god, I thought you'd got a baby from somewhere. I was
No,
gonna have to call the police. Look, I know he doesn't have one of his own, but there's a baby in that flat.
I was going to shut her out for a minute. Sorry, Astrid. I know you want shagging, but I'm not the man or the animal to do it. I'm not man enough or animal enough to do it. Okay, so I said it's not about a working class white person having a better life than a rich black person. It's about working class white people having a better life than working class black people, and rich white people having a better life than rich black people. It's about how people who are in exactly the same social position have such different lives. Their goals are the same, their ethnicity is the only variable. White privilege is difficult to understand by a lot of white people. Being white, I had this struggle myself. It's to do with relativity. White privilege doesn't manifest as the bar being lowered because someone is white. It's the bar being raised because someone isn't white. It's something which is just handed out to white people from their day they're born, because that's who designed the society we live in. And because it's built into society, it's really easy for us white people to miss. We need to look for the areas where our white privilege is in play and level the playing field. If you're a white person who has a hard life, that's a difficult idea to get behind. Why make my life harder? It's already been hard already, which is a completely fair statement. Just think of how much harder our lives would have been if we weren't white, though. I'm not going to say anybody is racist just because they don't know about their privilege. But when we recognise that it's there, we can't just sweep it under the rug if we consider ourselves to be good people. And the person replied just saying I was waffling, so I was like, well, I can't argue. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Like that's the point. If somebody says, "I don't know what you're talking about," then
well, in that case, I'm done.
And doesn't actually address the point, then all they've got is shut up.
Well, the bit that annoyed me is they were saying massive waffle. Where are your examples? I'm like, I'm sorry. Are we using examples now? Because as far as I can tell, throughout the entirety of this conversation, you have not used a single example. Well, yeah. Why am I suddenly having to use examples to prove my point when you're not expected to? Wait a second, isn't that exactly what we're talking about? Differences of standard for different people based on arbitrary things.
You have ignorance privilege, sir.
Yeah. Go take your zeros and ones somewhere else. But yeah, so this song, Nina Simone's song, yeah, I think it's just as aimed towards the everyman as it is aimed towards the higher populace.
Yeah, and this is what I meant, like, about the song being so, because like everyone can relate to the lyric of "I wish I could break the chain holding me."
Yeah,
like whether you've been an oppressed black woman or a slave or just someone who really doesn't want to be in school, like everyone's felt like they're trapped in a situation. Everyone wishes they could know what it means to be free, you know. But I just think in particular, that lyric, I just think it just has massive implications to even people who aren't, people who aren't anything like Nina Simone. But, because that's the whole point of the song. It's like, you're a human the same as I am. There isn't really any important difference between us.
Do you know?
And so, okay.
Sorry, finish your thought, because this is
No.
slightly...
I'm done. Basically.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, you know what's actually kind of offensive is that they use the chord structure of this song to for that Mercedes-Benz song. Although, Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Do you know that song?
I don't.
It was I don't know how modern the song is. It must be since the 70s, because that's how long Porsche's been a mainstream car manufacturer. But although Porsche's been a car manufacturer since the 40s, but mainstream public domain probably since the 60s or 70s. So to the same tune, same chord structure. Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. That, and it's pretty insulting when you think that this. I don't know if they were meant to have any correlation with this song, but it's just such a telling thing that an important song from the human history that's about something as important as slavery and the treatment of the black populace was eventually changed to sell white man-made German car.
But you know what? Like, I feel like, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like that's the kind of thing that Simone might have been after, is the fact that it doesn't matter that it was a black woman who wrote it. It's that this is a song, that is good and it's catchy and people recognize. It's it's like what was always bugged me is that companies have got boxes to tick as to, we've got you need to make sure that you're hiring the odd black person, otherwise you're discriminating. But it's like, if you've got to discriminate and give somebody else a job give a black person a job over a white person just to tick the boxes, then that's just as racist.
Yes, it's because you see them as a way to tick a box. You're seeing them as a number.
Exactly. It's like, it's not about saying, this is a white person, this is a black person, this is a brown person. It's about saying that's a person. That there is a human being. And is what's always astounded me, is because, like, I don't give a shit who you are. I'll hate you anyway.
Look, all I'm saying is Leroy might be a shite plumber and you shouldn't employ him.
Yeah. Leroy.
I couldn't think
Tyrone.
of
He only got a C in GCSE maths. Maybe not accountant material.
Oh, that's a hot. Should I be ending it on that sort of joke?
Oh, it's fine. Like, but no, I think that to go back to where that joke started from. Like, I think.
Yeah.
I think that the sooner we get to the point where we're not talking about, she was a black singer, a black woman, or he was it was a trans artist. The sooner we get to the point where we don't care about putting those adjectives in front of it, then that's the progress that we're looking. Music everywhere, regardless of the color of her skin or what country she was in, or that she was a woman.
Yeah,
like that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to not care who wrote the song. You want to care about the song itself.
That's a much better way to end it. Much better way.
Thanks.
So the song that I have brought to the table, if you are a fan of anime, this song may be anime. Sorry, I am pronouncing it wrong for all the weebs out there. If you're a fan of anime,
don't be anti.
Don't be anti-weeb.
In fact, I think they prefer the term Japanophile. I think weeaboo is actually derogatory.
Okay, to all those kotakus out there. Look, if you don't want to be considered a weeb, just stop acting like a fucking weeb. Yeah, so you may well know this song if you're into anime. Anime. So the song is, and I never know who to actually credit with this. So, judging by the fact that we're very pro songwriter here at Why Can't I Do Music Good? Because let's be honest, they do half the work. Well, they do
half the work.
They do a third of the work. Let's say, because I'm pretty sure the songwriter does a third of the work, and then the producer does a third of the work, and then the artist does a third of the work. And sometimes the artist and the songwriter are the same person, so they do 2/3 of the work. So Yoko Kanno is the writer of this song, and the performer is a band called Seatbelts. What a name, eh? Seatbelts.
Seatbelts.
It's all caps. And now I really love the fact that it's all caps, and I'll get into this in a second. The song is Tank, and I think that you and I have had you were talking about the intro to Nina Simone's song earlier, and I would like to talk about the intro to this song, because I think both of these songs are candidates for songs that have perfect intros.
They are great.
So this one is the and then you have just the 3, 2, 1, let's jam. And then it just goes into it.
It's sexy, man. It's a sexy intro.
It's so good.
Is it not?
It's so good. And it's just that intro, like Nina Simone's one, is absolutely a perfect intro. I don't think there's any way they could improve that intro at all. And the vibe of this song is just so fun. It's so fun, and it reminds me of James Bond. It reminds me of The Incredibles. It's oh my god.
But like older James Bond, like
yes, like
very like 80s, 90s.
Yeah,
80s,
we're talking about like the in score. Is it J.M. Barrie? No, J.M. Barrie is the writer. I can't remember who did the score for James Bond. Anyway, the original theme tune. Hold on, the original theme tune of. Wait, I've got it. I've got to get all my pens out. Hold on.
It says right. I've just googled James Bond score, and it says he composed the scores for 5 Bond films. Like, who did? He's given me the films, but not the guy who did the fucking music for him.
So the bit of the James Bond theme tune that it reminds me of is the.
I didn't have my kazoo hand.
Thank God you're singing at the same time, because I just overstepped my 10 seconds. This is definitely going to get a copyright strike until you joined in, and then it can't tell the difference. So it reminds me very much of that, and it's just so much fun. And I love the name of the band as well, Seatbelts, because yes, it's written in all caps, and the band is a Japanese band, which makes me feel like, you know how
it's just English.
Yeah, it's just they liked the way the word looked. In the same way that, like, because to us, Japanese kanji, just to us it looks more pictorial than it does look like letters, because we don't have that association. So they have the same thing with a load of our letters. To us, those letters look pictorial, and it's just that Seatbelts looked nice.
Seatbelts.
It's just so good. I don't have a lot to say about this song.
It's like
this song is just good.
You could be wandering around Japan and you just see it on a T-shirt somewhere. You're like, Let's name our
Exactly.
band to that.
Exactly.
Seatbelts.
So that's all I have to say about the song. The song's a great song. It's a fun song. If you haven't listened to it, just go to our Spotify. Why Can't I Do Music Good? Songs we can't get enough of. And both the songs we talked about today are on that playlist. And all the songs that we have that we've talked about in the previous episodes are all there as well. It's a really interesting mix.
All up there. Yeah,
Right.
it's a really good mix. But I mean, I'm just thinking. Did you ever watch on Netflix Beastars?
No.
Okay.
Is that
So
that's the anime? That's the CG anime where people can turn down. Oh, it's anthropomorphic animals. Yeah.
yeah. So animals in high school. So very very adult. It's incredibly strange. But the intro music for that, like really nice. Like again, this Japanese jazz kind of thing. I'd
Japanese
recommend checking that out.
Anime intro music is just great.
It's spot on, man. A lot, so good. Attack on Titan. It's not even the jazz thing. It's absolutely nothing like Cowboy Bebop's. But do you know the intro? To Attack on Titan?
Yes, it's very Doom orchestra type. Yeah.
La 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 la.
It's the sort of thing. Good. It's the sort of thing you'd expect like metal fans to really like.
Yeah.
My favorite Japanese anime associated artist is a band called Radwimps. Again, all in capitals because they like the way the words look.
Radwimps.
And it's they do the music for the anime, the movie Your Name. If have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I've seen of it.
Okay, watch it. Don't watch it if you're depressed, because you won't make it through the movie.
Really don't watch it if you're depressed.
In order to by the end of the movie,
as in you'll have to pause it, not you won't survive.
Yeah, it's a haunted movie. By the end of the movie, you'll be slightly sadder than how you came out. It's not going to be like Requiem for a Dream, where it's like if you watch it and you're depressed, you will try and kill yourself. It's you'll be slightly sadder than when you came out. So you want to try and be the best mood possible when you watch this movie, because it is sad but gets happy again, and then you because of all the emotions of the entire thing, you'll be a bit sad.
Overall, you're sad.
Yeah. It's like it's same as Stand By Me.
Yeah.
The film Stand By Me and the Stephen King book. Well, but it's a great movie. It gets sad partway through and it's happy at the end, sort of. But overall, when you finish that movie, you're slightly sadder than when you went into it.
Sure.
It's that sort of thing. But Radwimps do the music for it, and by far, they are probably the greatest, in my opinion. It would be weird if it was your opinion. They're my favorite Japanese artist to come out of anime stuff. They're so good. Radwimps. Okay, so going from songs we can't get enough of to songs that didn't get enough love. This is an occasional topic. This is an occasional part of the show. We don't always do this show, but if during the week we've come across a song that is just sinful, that is just full of awfulness, and we have to talk about it. This song is really popular on TikTok at the moment. We've talked about songs that are popular on TikTok before, and it tends to be songs that are popular on TikTok that make it into this section. Just happens to be because well, yes, but also we're very old. It is coincidence, but also we're old, and we don't get stuff that the kids are down with. I mean, we're two 30-year-old men talking about TikTok right now. It's the children who are wrong. This is the most relevant we will ever be. Guess, Theo, you know how everyone's been telling us to get on Discord? My girlfriend's niece has Discord now.
Oh. Okay. Well, you and I should get on it. I'm going to learn to floss.
Okay.
You.
No, flossing is not in anymore. You out of touch freak.
That was kind of the joke. I was going to say, I'll learn to floss. You do a Harlem Shake video.
Oh, right.
And then we'll do a cover of Gangnam Style together.
Oh, so this is okay. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun to get angry over. The song we're talking about is "Yucky Blucky Fruitcake" by
yucky fucky song title
by Iamdoechii, and there's a lot to dive into here, my friend. Have you heard the track?
I have.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to bring the lyrics up because this is where we kind of want to start. And the lyrics are on the screen for anyone who's listening to the show and not watching it.
Lyrics such as they are.
Okay, first off, the first thing I would really like to say about this track is if you are going to style yourself as a rapper, you need to know how to hit more than just a semiquaver. I'm pretty sure that would... Because, okay, so... don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're a bad artist if your music only hits the semiquavers. Scroobius Pip, excellent musician, excellent songwriter, does not class himself as a rapper because he doesn't rap, he doesn't have any flow. He classes himself as a poet. But as a musical artist, him and Dan the Sack together, incredible. But let's get into this song.
By contrast.
So, yeah, go ahead. No, after you.
No, I'll save it.
Okay, so...
let it boil up for a little bit.
The intro. Doechii, why don't you introduce yourself to the class? Okay. First of all, that's a fucking patronising teacher.
Start.
It's a patronising teacher. Okay? Fuck that. Verse 1. Hi, my name's Doechii with 2 eyes. Wrong!
Yeah.
Your name is not Doechii. Your name is Iamdoechii. Get your fucking name right. This song is introducing you as an artist. This song is introducing you as an artist to us as a listener. You've done it wrong. Hi. Yeah. It'd be like saying, Lawrence, introduce yourself to the class. Okay, guys. Hi, my name is Theo. Like, it's you not saying the name right.
No, it's like saying, oh yeah, Lawrence, why don't you introduce yourself to the class? Yeah, my name's Carl Hobbs.
You've messed up the whole beginning of your name. So either you've
people are going to call you Carl now, and you're going to be like, why are they saying my name wrong?
Exactly. So, and I think it's a stupid, like, either call yourself Doechii, and
or refer to yourself as Iamdoechii.
Yeah, I mean, we get it, dude. Dudette.
You're so edgy.
Dudette. Look, I also say before we started this, I wondered whether or not we were punching down on this song. But this person has 800,000 followers on Spotify. I have less.
Enough.
I have 7. I think 6 now because my girlfriend stopped listening to me. Oh, so funny.
There's like 2 followers though, technically.
Yeah, so I'm now down to 5. Okay. My name's Doechii with 2 eyes. I feel anxious when I'm high. That's the second thing you're going to say to us.
Introduce yourself to the class.
So first, okay, so literally the first 2 things that you've said to us, Iamdoechii. I'm not going to call you Doechii because it's not your fucking name. So Iamdoechii. The first 2 things you've said to us are, I don't know my own name and I'm on drugs a lot. To the point where I get anxious. Teachers say I talk too much. Mama say I don't talk enough.
She don't talk properly.
Well, I'm gonna allow the contraction here myself.
Yeah.
Sir, so get off your high horse.
Yeah, I apologize. I apologize.
But I don't know. I want to shit on that line, but there's so... Okay, here's what I'm going to shit on. You've made such an impression with the first 2 lines. To follow it up with lines that don't actually really mean anything, like teachers say I talk too much, mamas say I don't talk enough.
Yeah.
Like, essentially what you're saying is I talk the wrong amount for anyone around me.
The thing is, I think that this verse generally is lackluster, except for the first 2 lines, which are shit.
Well, I think it gets shit again. In the
Oh
dark,
yeah,
I'm like
shit.
in the dark, I'm like a torch. Okay, that's an interesting line. From a songwriting point of view, in the dark, I'm like a torch. Okay, so how are you like a torch? Are you lighting up the dark? Are you something in someone's hand to hit a potential intruder with? Like I want to know more about that.
Yeah.
But then you don't talk about it.
Well, I'm in the dark. In the dark, I'm like a torch because torch rhymes with porch.
Torch does
And
rhyme
that's
with
it.
porch.
That's probably it.
Yeah, from the
In the
hood,
dark,
I
I'm like a
hopped the
torch.
porch.
From the hood, I hop the porch.
So so you don't know your own name. You're on drugs. You talk an amount. Some people don't like it.
Somewhere between too much and not enough.
You are akin to a torch, but we don't know how. And you hot porches.
From the hood.
Already, I mean, to be fair, it does give me enough of an idea of what you're like to know I don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah, well.
I mean, if that's the
point... You know what? I got the impression, like, as soon as this song started, when Doshi, why don't you introduce yourself to the class? As soon as it started, I was like, "Yep, good start." And I got the impression. No, you know what? I'm going to save that for afterwards.
Okay,
carry on.
I don't bang or slang on gang. I beg to differ. I'm pretty sure that you saying I don't bang is slang.
That is slang. Yeah.
But my dad, I keep them things.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not going to comment on it because it might be very relevant. It might be completely irrelevant, but it's not given enough context, or I don't know enough about the lingo to like. I just used the word lingo. Nobody's used that since 1994. So
it's linguizzle now.
Okay. So and then we got the chorus. It says refrain, but let's get real. It's the fucking chorus. Okay. I get a little violent when I play a game of tag. How violent are we talking?
Well, I mean, maybe.
Do you want to play tag? Yes, I do that thing that all my parents told me not to do, where I have scissors when I run.
Well, it's just like you don't want to be touched. Jesus. All right, you're not it. Fuck.
I get a little quiet when I think about the bag. Then, okay, so that's an interesting line because it doesn't tell us anything, but it makes me want to know more. Like, are you talking about a burlap sack? Are you part of a Mormon family? And we were beaten in a burlap sack.
You know what? Instead of answering your question, I'm going to say I slob when I sleep and I wake up with a drag. And I hope that that's good enough.
Wake up with the drag. Does that mean she smokes when she wakes up?
With the drag? Yeah, well, quiet when I think about the bag. I slob when I... So, like, okay, yeah, okay. So I get a little quiet when I think about the bag. So she smokes herself to sleep until she's drooling on her pillow asleep. And then as soon as she wakes up, she has another drag.
Okay. Pulling out my teeth so I'll wake up to the cash. Now, we have an annotation here. Do we want to take a guess as to what the annotation is going to be? I haven't looked yet. Looked yet.
So somebody might be overreaching, right?
Well, I have an idea what I think it's going to be. Yeah.
I think it's going to be something to do with gold teeth.
I think it's going to be something to do with the tooth fairy.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Should we have a look?
Yeah.
Oh. Doshi describes the practice of placing teeth under a pillow on a bedside table where the tooth fairy will come and take the tooth, replacing it with money. Great job.
Okay.
That's the first line we get any explanation from, which means that her fans don't know what the fuck she's talking about either. Or they assume that we should all know what she's talking about. One of the two. Like, Why would you expect me to
So
know
obs.
what she means like when she says, "From the hood I up the porch, don't bang or slang on gang,"
I think
but
she's trying to say.
not know what a tooth fairy is? Sorry, carry on.
Well, I think what she's trying to say, from the hood I help the porch, I don't bang or slang on gang. She's trying to say that she's different, but without actually. She's telling but not showing, right?
But that
Because so far this has been very standard and very the same.
she's also lying. I don't bang or slang on gang, and she says in the process of slanging. That's the
Yeah.
equivalent of. That's the equivalent of saying I don't kill.
Fucking swear.
I don't kill people, but spell it out with a load of dead bodies that you've just shot. Okay, so this is who I am from the back to the front. Cool. I never had to pay for my schoolhouse lunch. Good for you. My mummy used stamps because she needs a little help. Oh, bad for you. And okay, I don't think we need an annotation here, but there is one. I have a feeling that the annotation is going to say something along the lines of, Iamdoechii's mother used food stamps because she needed
a little
some help with paying stuff. Should we go for it? This is a reference to food stamps, now known as SNAP, which provides food purchasing assistance for low.
Now known as stamps.
Now known as SNAP.
If you try and go in and go, I've got stamps here. They're gonna, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Here's some food stamps. What? Some stamps? Oh, stamps! Why don't you just
No,
say
she said.
we
No,
don't
she
call
says
them food stamps anymore, sir.
no. They're known as SNAP.
Snap.
Yeah, that's what it says. Now,
Then snap.
They're known as SNAP.
Is that an acronym?
I don't know. It could be. It's all capitalized. But you made me do it when the card's been dealt.
But who made you do it?
You know. Look, I haven't decided which side of the fence I am on the argument of saying it. So
fine. It's.
I don't even know if YouTube lets us say that word.
Oh, that's a good point.
You could have just fucked us right now, dude.
I could have just.
I can say, but I can't say that word.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant ginger. I'm dyslexic.
I try to act smart because I want a lot of friends. Okay, we're getting real here. Okay, thank fuck we're getting real here. I never went with the flow or the trends. You're lying. We all went with the flow or the trends. Especially people who say they didn't go with the flow or trends. We all went with the flow of the trends. I went with the flow of the trends, and I'm currently dressing double denim. So,
and it's like, okay, if you want a lot of friends, are the smart ones the ones who get the friends, or is it the ones who go with the flow or the trends?
I don't know.
Who get friends?
Off topic, I just realised I have a little like pompadour quiff here, and maybe I want to rock it. Maybe I should do the Josh Homme pompadour. I kind of like it.
Pompadour quiff. I was in a band called the Pompadour Quiff.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you good?
I played the mouth harp.
Is that where you go? Bring.
That's the boing things.
I wish I had one. I wish I had one of them.
Yeah, that was fictional, by the way. I never played in that band.
Oh, next thing you're telling me you weren't banging or slanging in a gang.
Well, I wasn't banging or slanging in a gang.
Next thing you tell me you didn't go with the flow or the trends.
I didn't go with the flow of the trends. I tried to act smart because I wanted friends, and that's what you do if you want friends. That's what you have to. That's what you have to do if you. Oh shit! I did follow the flow of the trends. Sorry.
Okay, I think I like girls, but I think I like men. We have an annotation here. Are you ready for it?
Oh shit! What could this possibly mean?
It says. Oh, come on, be faster, dude. Come on. Doechii, you got her name wrong. Call yourself a fan of Iamdoechii, and you get her fucking name wrong. Loser.
Jesus.
Don't worry, I'll fix it for you. Iamdoechii has not yet explicitly stated her sexuality, but has stated, "I am the gays," and she loves them,
What?
her, him, and everyone on the queer spectrum.
I am the gays.
Um,
That's homophobic, man.
she also has a song titled "Girls," which could be open to interpretation. Just the fact they go.
Yeah.
They also have this song, and you can interpret it. It's fine. You do the work.
That says whatever you think it says.
Okay. Doechii is a dick. I never fit in. I don't know who this Doechii is that she's talking about.
No.
Overly cocky. I'm hyper ambitious. Me, bitch. I'm narcissistic.
I thought. I mean, these lyrics aren't very ambitious.
These lyrics are getting better. They're definitely better than the beginning. Yeah.
I'm seeing a line here that is just me, and then her mispronouncing narcissistic.
Yeah, but there's...
Which, by the way, isn't a good thing to say about yourself.
I'm a black girl who beat the statistics, fuck the opinions, and all the logistics. That's a better set of rhymes than we had at the beginning. Remember?
Yeah, but
it's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. Let's just remember the first line. Hi, my name is Doechii. Wrong. With 2 eyes. I feel anxious when I'm high. Teachers say I talk too much. Mama say don't talk enough. 2. Overly cocky, I'm hyper ambitious. Me, bitch, I'm narcissistic. I'm a black girl who beat the statistics, fuck the opinions, and all the logistics. I think that's better lyrics.
Well, I mean, fuck the opinions, though. I try to act smart because I want a lot of friends. Well, I mean, yeah. It's just kind of write a line. What word rhymes with the last word in that line? Write a line that ends with that word. It's what I'm seeing.
Oh, sorry. I read ahead here just to keep ahead of the game, but this 4th verse is interesting. Are you ready for this?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm all alone on the deep dark web. Me and my phone in this queen-size bed. I'm looking at my pillow looked back at me. My thumb is over the screen, the other is in my jeans. It took a second to soak my fingers inside my throat. I paused, then I choked to think about it some more. Connection's moving slow, my brightness is on that low. I'm reaching for the remote, then my mama busts through that door.
Through the dough.
That's an interesting verse.
Yeah.
Why isn't the rest of the song like this? Because this is actually telling us some shit. Like this is real. This is yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know why though. I don't understand what it has. But I guess it's because this is the only bit so far that is actually about something.
Well,
I'm struggling to understand why. Like what the rest of it is meant to be about, if this is what this is about.
Well, I think that this is the rest of it is just descriptive. The rest of the song is just descriptive, and this is narrative. I think that the mood has shifted, and I think that the actual what the song is about has changed in this verse. It was a brag rap song. But now I don't think it fits. I don't think it belongs in this song. But it's interesting.
Yeah, well, so like, it does go to being a track about how badass she is.
Yeah.
To be fair. In the middle, she's talking about getting caught masturbating. So super edgy. And then the next verse, I fuck with Junie B. Barbara was my.
I'm gonna.
Who is Junie?
Junie B. Isn't this Barbara Streisand and? Hold on, let's look at it. Oh, the song is named after the book Junie B. Jones and the Yucky Blucky Fruitcake.
Well, that's that then. What's that book about?
I will
Kids.
open the link in a new tab. Oh, it's taking me to google.co.uk.co.nz. It is a kid's book from 1995, published by Random House. I don't know. But the link is, it could just mean that the contributor was from New Zealand.
Sure. So yeah, like Burrow was my idol. Had to wear my attitude to every dance recital. In my black tailor chucks, the one that lace up to my thighs. Lee Frank lipstick on my eyes.
Oh, there's an annotation on the Taylor Chucks.
Okay. Are they shoes?
They are shoes. Knee-high or thigh-high Converses were very popular in the early 2000s. They're now widely regarded as an abomination.
Who the fuck is this person?
I don't know. Lisa Frank, lipstick on my eyes. Weird girl activity. Black bitch activity. Spy girl erotica. Bucket hat from Nautica. Clit throbbing. I start sobbing watching Narnia.
So
I felt weird saying that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Kids book.
Oh, Aslan!
It's named after a kids book.
Oh.
And you're talking about watching The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe with 3 very underage actors and masturbating. Imagine if I wrote a song like this. Imagine if I wrote a song pumping myself up, talking about getting caught masturbating, and then talking about masturbating to children.
Maybe she's just masturbating to Aslan.
Bestiality, then. That's cool.
It is cool.
But
it is cool now.
It's like it's cool now.
It's cool now. Have you not seen furries? Furries are cool.
It's not cool. But this is the thing. Like, this is what I got from the impression I got from this entire song is that it's sort of like the female version of Lil Dicky, but without the irony. So she's like, so you know the Dicky song where he's talking about how badass, like, oh, I put trash in others' cans. I take 5 ounces of liquid through the airport. Limit 3, and like, so it's sort of, yeah, I'm a bad boy, and it just seems like Iamdoechii's it seems like Iamdoechie's tried to talk herself up, tried to make her seem like a bad girl. But instead she's accidentally done a parody of herself.
I've read ahead and it's more of the same and we're running out of time. So I don't think we need to go into the song very much more. Here's what I would say about this song. There is potential for this artist to do some awesome shit. Because clearly, what by the time you get, like, if they do more like that fourth verse is really interesting. Do more of that. That's sort of the rest of the stuff. Is awful, and learn your name or rebrand yourself, please. You don't have Chance the Rapper being like, hey, my name's Chance. No, your name is Chance the Rapper. You've branded yourself Chance the Rapper. Your artist name is Chance the Rapper.
You know what, I've don't worry. I was just trying to Google the songwriter of that song, and it's not really coming up with anything.
Didn't she write it? I thought she wrote it.
Well, yeah, like the name that came up was Jyla Jimia Hickman, and I don't know if that's like an artist name or what have you. So I'm going to try and. I don't think she's got has she got a Wikipedia?
I have a feeling when we dive into lyrics and stuff, I have a feeling we might need to just do the first verse.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think after a few verses, this might have got old. But because there was, but then again, it's not our fault. There was fucking 8 verses.
That was a whole lot of shit to get through.
Yeah. Okay,
Well,
so it's about 5-2. Should we spin the wheel of conversation?
spin wheel of conversation.
Okie dokie. For those of you who are not in the know, we have a segment called the Wheel of Conversation, where we end the show by asking a question, sometimes musical, but it's just a dumb question that I have thought of at some point in the last few weeks, and it's just something to. It's just something to nice to end the show on. So
It's a very good thing,
spin the
man.
wheel of conversation. Where's it
Conversation,
going
what
to
is going
go?
to
Spin
land?
the wheel of
The
conversation.
conversation beyond the power of random.
Yeah, you can remember the lyrics better than I can. And this is still a slow
I'm gonna
spinner.
have to change the song now.
Yeah,
It's
you
my
are.
turn.
You are. It's still spinning. I didn't expect.
This is the wheel of cars.
Oh, it's going fast. Oh, come on, please be a good one. Please be a good one. Okay, here we go. Ooh, okay. This is an interesting one. Let's just let it bring up on the screen. Okay. Do film or TV engineers tweak audio of characters to make them sound sexy?
To make them sound sexy.
Yeah, I think the reason I can't remember what I was watching when I came up with this, but I was watching a TV show, and the character that was talking to the main character had like a bit of a hushed tone, and I was thinking to myself, you know how they used to grease the lens to make a character look dreamy, or
Yeah.
they would film from a low angle to make them look superior and godlike.
Yeah.
Do they EQ the sound to bring out sexier tones?
I wouldn't say to bring out sexier tones necessarily, but like most of the time when you're seeing a film and you're seeing two characters, especially if they're outside and they're talking to each other,
Yeah.
you're not what they're saying is not you haven't got a recording of what they were actually saying at the time. They ran through the scene, they recorded it and saying what they were saying, and then they went into the studio and dubbed over it. And from there, I guess the engineer from there would sort of tweak their voices, get rid of the most annoying bits. So yeah, to an extent, but only in the same way that you would process anything to make it sound a bit better, if you can.
So it's not like if a character has a particularly sexy deep voice, they EQ it so the bass is louder so that you bring out that sexiness.
I guess it's a case by case basis. So like if you were, it depends on the guitar that you're playing as to whereabouts you want to put your boosts and cuts on your EQ. And it's like whatever's sexy. I mean, somebody who's commissioning your work might say, bring out, I think this bit sounds sexy. Bring this out a little bit. But ultimately, it's like, what does it need in order? Like, you don't want to make it sound sexy. You want to make it work with everything else.
Right.
Because I think the thing is, if something that you've done stands out, then you've done too much of it when it comes to mixing.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like when you talk about editors in general. If you notice the editing, then they're a bad editor.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people talk about green screen being used, and there's so much of it. It's like there's actually a fuck of a lot more than you think. It's just when it's done properly, you have no idea that it's there. Exactly the same thing, I think. So I think if you had a character who came in, and it might even just be like a subconscious thing where the EQ that's on their voice doesn't match the Foley in the background or whatever. I think you just want to make it sound as natural as possible, but remove the nasty unnecessaries.
Okay.
And how sexy the voice is it would just be, it depends on the guitar that you play.
Okay, so it's in the performance of the actor, but could be enhanced or diminished by the audio work. Okay,
it would be great if you could take Garfunkel and Oates and make them sound like Morgan Freeman.
I'll spin for another one because it's 3:00, but I think we could get another one out.
Just one for luck.
Just one for luck. I'm hoping it's Shag, Marry, Kill because I enjoy those ones. Or the alternative to Shag, Marry, Kill. What was it? Write, perform, judge harshly after too many tequilas. Okay, still spinning. Come on. I don't know how I'm going to make this wheel faster, but I think this is the fastest. It's like, at least it's not tanking the stream this time. Now that I've switched to Firefox.
Have we been all right today? I think we have.
For the most part, yeah. Yeah, we have. Oh, it's right on the border. It's right on the border. What we got?
Is it going to land on?
Oh, we almost got Shag, Marry, Kill. Okay, question is, are there too many subgenres? I think the question...
I'm going to talk about race again.
Okay. Okay. Why? Is that an easier topic?
Yeah. No. Like, okay. Cast back. We used to have...
I don't think I know that spell.
Music.
Loser!
We used to have music.
Yeah.
And then we had sort of classical music and blues music. And then we had classical music and blues and jazz. And we had classical music and blues and jazz and rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then rock and roll had its own, rock and roll gave birth to rock, and, blues gave birth to bluegrass, and, general folk and country. And you've got, rock turned into metal, and metal turned into death metal and metalcore and heavy metal. And then you've got like all of this heavy metal band also uses electro stuff, so they're electro heavy metal. And it's like, cast back, you had white people and black people, and then eventually you had somebody who was half white and half black, and then they married a white person, and then what you get out of that is somebody who's 3/4 white and 1/4 black. And that's just like a very binary example.
Yeah.
But then you've also got people who are Latin and people who are Asian. It gets to the point, it's like, well, what group do you fall under? I don't know, man. Like, do we need a group anymore? Are we not too refined now to actually be able to categorize everything into a group? So I think the reason that we've got so many genres is because we've always had genres, but music is changing, and the music that people are exposed to and combining is getting more and more, just because you got more options and easier to get to. And I think that genres are a vestigial sort of way of trying to say, oh, you'll like this sort of music. Because, like, I don't think, well, there isn't a genre of music that I like. There isn't a genre of music where there aren't any songs in there that I don't like, and there isn't a genre of music that there aren't any songs in there that I do like, But I think when you had fewer options, it was easier to go, these guys, the Beatles, they're rock and roll. They're kind of like the Monkees, they're rock and roll, But it's not that easy. I don't think it's that black and white anymore.
No, I guess it was. I guess there was a time when making subgenres was needed, because you did need to try and compartmentalize stuff, because back in the day you had to, if you wanted to know something about a band, you couldn't Google it. You couldn't. You had to just rely on the information given to you by other people, secondhand information. And if you didn't have that, then you had to judge it by something else, and another a way for you to judge it would be their genre. Like, so you're right, the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and the Monkees have a very similar fan base because they're all a similar genre, and back in those days that's how those people found that music. And nowadays, so I think the answer is no, until recently. And now there's too many subgenres because we have way more information. We don't need a genre anymore. It's just music. Like, and
especially when it used to be that if you wanted to listen to an artist, an album, you'd spend so much money.
Yep.
If you wanted to listen to another artist, exactly, you'd have to spend so much money again. Now you pay a tenner a month to listen to whoever you want.
Yeah.
You don't need to pick. This is exactly what you were saying. Was it last week? The week before?
It was recently.
Yeah. It's like we now have the freedom to choose these things. You don't have to prioritize your attention so much or your money.
Okay. So the answer is subgenres as a thing. No, there's probably not too many subgenres, but you don't need subgenres now.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't need subgenres, I don't think, and I think in terms of there being too many, like, I don't know, man, because like I don't even pay attention. I'm like, I don't hear a band and go, oh, what genre is this? And I don't think anybody does.
Not anymore,
really.
No. Well,
yeah, they listen to it and they go, I like this.
I think they used to do that when you'd be given the name of the band, and when you were given the name of the band, you'd be like, oh, okay, what sort of music do they play?
Is that rock and roll? I must like rock and roll.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's 3:00. I think that's a show.
It's a good show. No?
Do you want to plug yourself?
Plug myself?
Mm-hmm.
Already have. Oh, okay. So I have my name's Theo Dehaney. You can find me on Instagram at Theo Dehaney Music. Although apparently I'm gonna have to change it now. You can keep an eye on my YouTube channel, which is just Theo Dehaney, for videos that will be coming soon.
And I am Lawrence Hobbs. You can, if you'd like to talk to me about anything that we've discussed in the show today, you can hit me up on my Instagram, which is above my head there. If you'd like to listen to some of my music, I am on Spotify or wherever you get your music from. Just search for Lawrence Hobbs. I have an EP called Leave Me for Worms, Don't Leave Me for Dead. It's all right. If you have missed this show, if you come in at the end of it, we're at the end of the show, guys. I'm really sorry. But if you would like to watch the show from the beginning, later on it will be uploaded to YouTube. And you can find all our previous, well, not all of our previous shows, but you can find some of our previous shows on YouTube, as well as my previous stream videos. And speaking of the stream, tomorrow I will be back at midday for our Friday stream, which is Fix It Fridays, which is a stream where we take stuff that I learned in my journey of production that should have been in my music all along, and we put it in that stuff. That was a bad intro to that. I don't know what is going to happen in terms of the daily streams. They're probably going to fizzle out as time goes on and as everything opens up again and as we go back to work. However, this show will remain. I'm determined to keep this show going. So if you subscribe to my Twitch for the other show, I'm sorry. But if you subscribe because of this, then you're in the right place.
You're in luck, my friend.
You're in luck, my friend.
What's happening?
Because this is the deal, okay, friend? Okay, so without further ado, thank you very much, Theo, for joining me. Thank you,
having me.
Everybody else, for joining me as well. Hit us up on those socials, and have a great Thursday and a great rest of your week. Good.